Yo, what's up, everybody? OJ here. Welcome back to another smoothie cast, guys. I gotta take a drink. There's nothing better than a full workout and then a nice, delicious smoothie right after that workout. Nothing better than that. Nothing better. A homemade protein smoothie. It's so good. What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. My name is OJ, if you don't know. Most of you guys do. But if you don't know, my name is OJ. I run this illustrious village channel, PlayerEssence, with all my favorite people in the world. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. We got some good stuff to talk about. Microsoft's purchase of Bethesda is complete. So there was a lot of salt today on Twitter from Sony fans. It was interesting. And it's so funny, like I heard some people trying to get in, like, why are you upset? Oh, this doesn't concern Nintendo fans. It's like, a lot of these Sony dudes don't remember anything. A lot of people don't, not even just Sony dudes, a lot of people don't remember anything anyway. You know, Microsoft purchased a Nintendo first-party company, essentially. A company that Nintendo had been working with for years. And they just, give me that. So, I mean, in some sense, Rare was, in some sense, it's not as bad. And then in other sense, it is, it's just as bad, if not worse, right? And I remember my reaction to that at the time was, oh, well, Microsoft purchase, looks like I got to buy an Xbox for whatever, you know? Like, deadass, that was my response. I wasn't all salty and mad. We didn't have social media back then. We had like Game Revolutions boards, like people were arguing on there, but I never argued. And got mad and salty. I was just like, well, they bought them. It's money. It's capitalistic business. That's how it works. I swear to you, that's exactly what I said. The smoothie, it's good. It's a strawberry banana, diet orange Sunkist soda, and vanilla protein powder with a little bit of Splenda. A little bit of protein powder, a little bit of Splenda. It's really good. But yeah, man, that's just how it works. That's just how it is. But let's go and get into some ninja news. First and foremost, video didn't do too hot today, but that's okay. Not too hot, but it is what it is. So let's see here. Oh, sweet. Anyway, sorry, I have some people sending me some stuff. So I'm looking at my video, and not too hot today. About almost 3K views, but if you guys haven't checked out the video, please check it out. We're getting new subs, though, so thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. We talked about SMT5, and we talked about some other stuff as well. So, so yeah, check out my video if you haven't already seen it. Make sure you guys watch it. Also, we had a little bit of an issue with the Elite Ninja pledges today, because, like, the whole thing, what happened, I'm like I'm with the MCN, and YouTube did some stuff with my MCN, then they had to be transferred over to this other one. So that's why a lot of you guys got emails about the membership being paused. I think we did lose some people, but not too much. But if you do want to support the channel, everything's back up and running. So hit that Elite Ninja button, hit that join button, also type an exclamation mark Elite Ninja, and that can get you into our membership program. So yeah, it is what it is there. There was a little bit of an issue. I don't know, you know, what happened, but, well, I know what happened, but it got fixed. Basically, it got fixed. So it is what it is there. All right, so that's that. Next up, I think that's it for Ninja News. Yeah. Oh, tomorrow morning we got a Switch Pro video. Going over some nonsense that I've been hearing. We got to dispel some stupidity that I've been hearing. So I'm going to talk about it now that I've gotten a chance to watch everybody's videos, everybody that I mess with, you know, I'm gonna just go ahead and give my piece on some of the newest information. All right, so let's go ahead and get into some shout outs. If you're here in the chat, feel free to say hi. I'll be more than happy to say hi back to all my lovely people. Sarah Jew, I don't even know how to say your name. I'm gonna call you S2000. What's good, man? Welcome to the stream. Anthony Moon, what's good, man? Dior Wilson, Jonathan Haggins, what's good? Khalil Jama, what is up? Shout out to the Elite Ninja here. I was wondering what happened. Yeah, just a little issue with it, but everything's back. So everything's back up and going. Vampire Hooligan, what's good? Roggy Froggy, what's up, man? Welcome. Chris Gamer ST, Party Man is here. Bead Queen, my girl, is here. J Bird, YCWO, what's good? Welcome. Figure Drawing, you're over here. So yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. It said flew under the radar. It was supposed to be completed in the first, but nothing. I don't know what your SG. What do you talk about? Nintendo already stated that they've completed the purchase of them. It's not about flying under the radar. People covered it. It's been and over with. So it's already been completed. What do you mean, but nothing? No, they've already completed it. Nintendo already said that it's been completed. Let's see. Zeus Deep, what's good, man? Dank Meme Center X, what's up? Pico, Twitch Pro cooking us a 3-course dinner. I hope so. That'd be like the best thing to happen. So yeah, a smoothie. I already stated what I've been drinking. A smoothie. A vanilla, orange, diet soda, strawberry, banana smoothie. It's good. Coloco, what's up, man? D Iggy, what is good? I need to start putting like what smoothie I'm drinking, because I'm gonna start having them at the beginning. If I don't have enough time, I'm gonna put like I am drinking a strawberry banana smoothie. Here's the recipe. We're gonna have to put like exclamation mark smoothie on there. Hey Seuss, what's up, man? Welcome. Coloco, what's good? Vampire, you asking too many questions, homie. Just calm down. Let's see here. Pico's here. What's good? Chase Williams, what is good, man? Welcome to the stream. Damage Controlling Fanboy, what is up, man? Welcome. D Iggy, what is good? What is good, guys? Welcome to the stream. I mean, you just peppering me with... Bro, you asking me like way too many questions right now. Let me just get through this real quick, bro. You're asking me way... What are you drinking? Well, you still running? Well, how much do you run? If I answer that, then the next thing is gonna be like, well, how long did you run for? What'd you do after the run? What'd you have to eat? It's like, I already know it's going down the rabbit hole here when people start peppering me with questions from the very beginning. Just let me get through this real quick. Let's see here. J-Ron Trom. Nah, we just started, bro. We just started. Yo, SK Massive, my man. One of the old school. This man, SK Massive, he's been here nearly since the beginning. He survived 2 destructions of the Elite Ninja Village. Let's go. Let's go. Yo, SK Massive, thank you for the Jonin tier pledge, man. I appreciate you for rocking with me for so long. What's good, man? What's good? Thank you so much for the support, man. I appreciate it. What is good? Zoltor, what's up, man? Welcome. Monster Hunter Stories got a release date. Nintendo should have promoted it in the Direct. It wasn't ready to be promoted in the Direct, so there was no need to do it. And plus, the Monster Hunter team wanted to have it for their own presentation as well. Don't worry about what should be promoted or not promoted, guys. Things are ready when they're ready. Everything's not ready when Nintendo wants to do certain things. So I think that's something that we need to talk about that, because that's some nonsense too. When people say, this should have been in the Direct. The trailer might have not been ready for the Direct. Like, the Direct was back in February. The digital event was down. It might not have been ready, or they might have wanted to show it because they already had a Direct for the game last year. They might have wanted to show it in their own presentation that they had, which was the Monster Hunter digital event. People need to stop saying everything needs to be here or everything needs to be there. No. How about we have multiple events where they show different things when it's ready to be shown, and not have everything at one Direct or everything at one place? Like, I don't, it's a pet peeve of mine. I don't like that. I like having news flow through the year. We don't have to have everything at one Direct or everything at one place or everything at this. Like, no, they showed it when it's ready, and that's fine. Now we have stuff to talk about later after the Direct. It might have not been ready during the direct. That trailer and that presentation, they might have not had the time to cut it together or use the best footage that they can use or have the pre-orders and have everything ready to go. This stuff is not, it's not done on you know, snap your finger and, oh, it's been ready for 3 years. Let's just do it right now. It probably wasn't ready by the time that they were putting everything together for the direct, because directs are planned months in advance. So that footage that you saw in the pre-orders and the amiibo and everything they wanted to put together, it wasn't ready when Nintendo wanted to put together things for the direct. They don't snap their fingers and this stuff happens, guys. Like, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, please. I don't like when people say that. It feels up to the Nintendo community. We would have everything announced in one day, and then somehow, then people would get upset when throughout the rest of the year there's no more announcements. Oh, where's all the announcements at? Well, you said everything should be at this place. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm just not a fan of when people say stuff like that, man, because y'all don't understand. Some of y'all don't understand the logistics behind all this. This stuff, as an editor myself, I just know just editing just in general takes a long time for my basic videos. Okay, you're talking about pro level editing, multiple cuts, multiple manipulation, devs have to get involved, scripting, putting together the trailers. This stuff, it takes an exuberant amount of time to do, to put all together. Getting all the logistics ready for like the amiibo, how much you're gonna have, the production, all of this stuff takes a long time, and people think that everything's gonna be ready at whenever they feel like it, or whenever they want it to be ready at one point when there's something. So, I mean, you guys gotta realize that this is real people working behind the scenes. It's not just snap your fingers and it's manufactured. This footage, these trailers, these cuts, these edits, it's not that, guys. Keep that in mind, please. You know? Please keep that in mind. Let's see, Florida Gamer, let's not cry. I mean, it's not even about crying over anything. It's not that, and I'm not trying to, you know, roast or anything like that. My biggest issue is that when people say something that happens weeks and weeks and weeks later should have been ready weeks and weeks and weeks before, as if they put together the direct yesterday. Nintendo planned that direct from last year. They are putting together all the footage. They were cutting together everything. They're putting everything together last year. It takes them months to put together a direct. It doesn't take them a day or a week. It takes them months to put together logistics with all the different companies, cutting it, editing it together. There's only 8 hours in a day. A direct definitely takes more than 8 hours to edit. I can tell you that takes a lot more than 8 hours. That takes probably hundreds of hours to edit. It probably takes months of work to do that. So if that Monster Hunter footage wasn't ready, or if there's things that logistically wasn't ready to go, then it's not gonna be at the direct, and it can be at the next one, or it can be at their own presentation. Like, we don't have to have everything rushed to be in a direct, you know? That's the problem. So especially for a 50-minute direct was already 50 minutes or so. How long do they need to be until people are satisfied? They need to have everything that everybody wants every single time, or people will be upset. They don't understand. Says, I know logistics. I think that logistics. Not less people are going to see a small direct versus a Nintendo direct, but that's not the point, Zoltor. You're still not understanding. If something isn't ready, then it's not ready. Like, if it's not ready, it's not ready. It should have been there. It's not ready to be there. The footage is not ready. So it can't be at somewhere if it's not ready. Do you not understand that? Like, you can't produce something that's not ready to be produced. You can't have it there when it's not ready. If the footage of what they wanted at the time and they couldn't put it together is not ready, then it will not be there. Oh, the hell well. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh well. Maybe there's another direct some other time, or maybe people can watch it, or maybe there's positive word of mouth, or that's where Capcom and Nintendo's marketing has to kick in with footage and new trailers and other stuff like that. That's what you don't understand. It's not, oh, well, it should have been there. No, it was not ready to be there. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's not ready. Plain and simple. Like, I don't know what you want them to do. Do you want them to rush footage and make it look worse? What is the solution to that then? If Capcom's like, hey, you know what? We've got Monster Hunter Rise footage ready because Monster Hunter Rise is coming sooner. So we got that ready, but Monster Hunter Stories, we're not so sure about that. Let's wait a little bit. We're still working on a few things because that's a further out. What do you want to do? Okay, well, let's just get Monster Hunter Rise right now, and then, you know, we can have our own event for Monster Hunter Stories too, since that will be the smaller game. Okay, cool. We're going to rock with that. Then you go with what you got. They got new footage for Monster Hunter Rise. That's the game that's coming out first. That's the bigger game. That's what people are excited for. Okay, the Monster Hunter Stories 2 is later at a different event. It's not ready, dude. You know, like, I don't know what you want them to do. You're saying that it should have been there. No, it shouldn't have been there. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't have been there. But you know why it shouldn't have been there? Because it wasn't ready to be there. That's the reason why. You know? That's why. Elden Ring isn't ready because they haven't shown it yet. So it's not ready till they say it's ready. It's not ready when you think it's ready. It's ready when they say it's ready. It's not ready when you feel like it. It's ready when they feel like showing it. Drake, don't come here and tell... Once again, Drake, you just say... A lot of you guys think you guys know the gaming industry and you guys know stuff. You guys don't. A lot of you guys don't even know how to edit. You can't edit a damn... You can't edit a damn sunset rising and setting. But yeah, some of y'all want to come here and act like... Some of you can't develop, can't edit, have no production skill, and then come here and try to tell me about editing or try to tell me about footage and putting things together. Some of y'all need to sit down, okay? Like, just sit down and stop acting like you know everything about gaming. Just because, I get it, you guys have opinions, and that's fine. But let's not sit here and act, oh, well, Elden Ring's ready. No, it's not ready yet. It's ready when they decide it's gonna be ready, then it's ready to be shown. If they're waiting on something, or if they're waiting on whatever, there might be an announcement that they're waiting on, or something else that they want to clip together for a trailer, or for the footage, or for a pre-order bonus, or a special edition. There's large-scale logistics here. It's not just the footage, guys. There's business propositions that are put behind it as well, in terms of everything. So I'm not trying to be mean. But the assumptions that are put on these games and stuff like this are ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like, are absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion. And thank you to the person that subscribed earlier. I think somebody said that they just subscribed. He says, I am Chances. I just found your channel and I'm sub. Hey, what's up, man? Welcome. Let me continue going with these shout outs though. Welcome, Drake. Good to see you here though. Ricardo, what's good? Figure Giant. But I'm done discussing this when it comes down to it. If you guys think that everything should be shown when you feel like it, okay, then continue to be upset, because there's gonna be multiple times over and over and over and over that you're not gonna get what you want when you want it. And then you're gonna complain that it should have been shown. And I'm gonna tell you, it'll be shown when it's ready to be shown, or when it's the right time to be shown. So continue to be upset every single time, because I can guarantee you there's a lot of guys saying, oh, well, I didn't see this. I didn't get to see this. How many times does that happen with gamers? And they get upset. And I'm like, well, it'll be shown when it's ready. I'm telling you, that's a better mindset to have. If you have the mindset of this should have been shown when I feel like it, you're going to constantly be upset over and over and over, pissing and crying about things because you don't get what you want when you want it. And that's what I see a lot with gamers online. So, hey, if you want to have that attitude, go ahead. Be upset every single time, because you're not going to get what you want when you want it all the time. You're going to be wrong the majority of the time. You're not going to get what you want when you want to see it, you know? Just saying, but hey. Have your own opinion, guys. You don't need to have let everyone know your opinion on things all the time. Self-absorbed, bruh. Let's see here. Monado Mario, what's good? Kimmerix, what's good, man? Dude, From Software work. I beat the Dark Souls games. Everything comes out. Okay. Hey, what's up, Troy Perry? Welcome. Is the music loud? The music sounds a bit loud. It sounds a bit loud, in my opinion. Good to see you here, though, Evan. Sounds a bit loud. People just need to relax. You need to relax and just enjoy the games that are coming. We got Monster Hunter Rise first. Stop worrying about what people see in a big direct compared to Monster Hunters. Like, stop worrying about that. Like, just Let them do the marketing for the game. Let it's out in July. So let's focus on Monster Hunter Rise first. That's the game that everyone's looking forward to the most, is Monster Hunter Rise. Focus on that. And then we still got till July. There could be another direct. There could be something that could, the game's not coming out tomorrow. You know, like, I don't like this. I don't know why. It's just kind of like, but I don't like this whole, they should have showed it. Game's coming out in July. You don't need to show everything about the game right now. Monster Hunter Rise is first. They show more about that game. You can't buy both of them at the same time right now. I mean, you could pre-order it, but, you know, it just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense to me. How people react to certain things. People need to just relax. Just relax. Just relax. Zoltor, don't worry about their sales. You're not a marketing genius. So you say, I better not hear Capcom complain about sales. It being in the direct isn't going to make the game sell 10 times more or anything like that. You don't know what you're talking about. You talk too much for somebody who probably has no experience in marketing or whatsoever. Some of you guys talk way too much for, you don't know what you're talking about. Trust me on this one. You're going to have to just sit back and trust me on this one, okay? Zoltor, just sit back and trust me on this. Stop being a backseat marketing expert. You're not. I already know that you're not. I can already tell that you're not. Bayleaf789 with the $10 says, love the streams, man. Discord introduced me to some very cool folks. Hey, relax, people. Just enjoy the games when they come out. Exactly. Thank you for the 10, though. I appreciate it. Thank you for the 10, man. Bayleaf, that is the first donation of the stream. Thank you so much for the support, man. I appreciate it. How's the music now, guys? I know it was a bit loud. How's it now? A lot of you guys don't complain about the music when it's too loud because you guys like the music that's being played. So you guys are like, yeah, this music's better than OJ talking or ranting about something about whatever he's ranting about. So a lot of you guys are just like, I don't care. I'll just listen to the music instead. I think that's why some of y'all don't say nothing until I say anything, because you guys like the music that's being played. Like, OJ, what'd you say? Doesn't matter. I don't care what OJ said. He's just ranting about somebody. Yo, Bailey, thank you for the 10, man. Thank you for the JoJo boys. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. To your point, do you think that publishers make deals or ask Nintendo for a certain amount of time in the direct? This would mean the set show moving and would be harder. I don't think they ask for deals. No, it's just like, I think that it's based on like the profile of the game. Nintendo obviously goes out to them, not obviously, but Nintendo goes out to them and says like, hey, you know, we want to put this game, like if it's a big game, they want to give it its spotlight. So I don't think it's deals. I don't think it's anything like that. Obviously, if you have a game like Monster Hunter Rise, you want to showcase that prominently, but it's all based off of when games are ready. If the footage wasn't ready to be shown, or if it's not cut out to be shown, then it's not cut to be shown. You know, Zoltor thinks that directs are made the day before the direct airs. So he thinks that's how they're put together. No, Nintendo sits down months before direct, plans out everything, and if the trailer's not cut or if the footage isn't ready to be shown, it's not making it in that direct. Zoltor thinks it's made that day or the week of the direct, you know, because Nintendo doesn't explain to us, hey, when these presentations are made or put together. But trust me on this one, as an editor myself, okay, and as people that I've talked to, these directs are made months in advance. They probably started planning it last year. So the Monster Hunter footage wasn't ready to go. It just wasn't ready to go, and they probably wanted to focus on games that were coming out sooner. So give the focus on the first Monster Hunter game, and then maybe if there's another direct, like let's say we have a direct in May, or maybe we have a direct in June, which we probably will. Then we'll have it there. The game doesn't come out till July, and he's complaining about not showing it off in February. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though Monster Hunter Rise is coming out first, and that's the game that they want to promote more. So this fake ass marketing commentary from chat is just ridiculous when the game's coming out in July. There's probably going to be another direct before that, and it can be showcased closer to when it's going to be released. Nothing wrong with showcasing the first one here. As somebody who's done marketing in college myself, I did communication and marketing. To me, it's not a problem at all. The game doesn't come out till July. So why are you worrying about sales of the game when you haven't even put on sale the game that's coming out before it, and you've got hell of time until the game comes out? There's probably going to be at least one more direct, especially around the E3, June or so, when we're going to get more information on games coming out in the second half of the year. Monster Hunter Stories 2 can be in that direct. There's no problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not a problem here, but people like to, like I said, people like to make up their own marketing business strategies based off of nothing, you know? Shinru with the $10. And he says, why are people never satisfied with the games that they got right now? Save your money until the game you want is ready to pre-order, pick up day of, relax. LOL. Play the Breath of the Wild main theme from remix from Smash Ultimate. Yeah, I mean, I like I said, as somebody who's done marketing myself in college, I don't understand this. It needs to be shown here because people don't watch. It's not ready yet. It doesn't matter. Monster Hunter Rise is the game that everyone's looking for, right now. I will play your music in just a bit, but I have to address a stupid comment in the chat. Guys, don't talk unless you agree with OJ. No, you can say your opinion. You don't have to agree with me. Hamad or whatever your name is. That's not it. What I'm saying is logical. What I'm saying is coming from somebody who has worked at Fortune 500 companies, who has worked in marketing departments. That's what I'm saying here. You can agree or you can disagree, but everything that I'm saying is logistics. It is logical. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that I'm just making up. If you honestly think that a game, 2 Monster Hunter games, and one of them needs to be inside of every presentation before the footage is even ready, so just get something together and put it in there before the first game even comes out, and then somehow that's going to affect sales when there's February, March, April, May, June. There's still, how many months here? Hold up. Yeah. March, April, May, June. There's still 4 months, then it comes out in July. 5 months. 4 to 5 months before the game comes out, and you can have other presentations, probably another direct before then, an E3 presentation or something to show it off. If you think that there's a problem there, then I don't know what to tell you. But no person in marketing is going to sit there and say that we have to have Monster Hunter Stories 2 in a February direct in order to save our sales. Who's going to say that? There's not a single person who's going to say that. Monster Hunter Stories 2 isn't the type of game that's going to sell 10 million copies. It's a turn-based JRPG. Okay? Final Fantasy VII Remake didn't even sell that. All right? So it's not about, oh, guys don't talk, you disagree with me. I'm simply letting you guys know the logistics behind this. These directs and this stuff isn't cut a day before. It's made months in advance. If the footage isn't ready, then it's not ready. But if you want to sit here and peddle stupidity in the chat, okay, then do it. Fine. Go ahead and do it. But I'm just trying to tell you guys the truth when it comes down to it. And if you don't like that, okay, that's fine. Keep on saying what you want to say. But some people here like to come here and say a bunch of stuff. Oh, well, the footage has been ready. Well, how do you know? You don't develop the footage. You don't know. Are you part of the development team? How do you know? That's not true. That's not factual. There's no way that anybody can, not from cell phone flip camera leak of Elden Ring. That doesn't prove that the footage is ready to be shown. Somebody just took some gameplay. That doesn't mean that there's a trailer cut, that there's the pre-order bonuses, what they're doing with everything from a large-scale logistics standpoint. I know some of you guys don't understand what logistics is, but that doesn't mean that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so to come here and try to sit there and say, oh, don't talk, you disagree with me. No, that's not it. I have multiple disagreements. The problem is that you, Hamad, okay, you get upset when a black person comes on stream and is talking with a little bit of passion, so you take it as hostility. So that's why you put dumbass stuff like that in the chat, you know? So you take it as that, because anytime you see a black person say something, you take it as a hostile type of thing. No, it's just a stream. We're just talking about gaming. It's not that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? But if you want, I can be super boring with it, or I can just brush off what you guys say. I can not respond. I can just be like, all right, no problem. And we can just move on to the next thing. I can do that if you want me to. You know? If you want, I can just do that. Let's see here. What does a person's color have to do with anything? It's basically what you started, bro. You said don't agree, don't say anything at all. Obviously, you're taking it as if I'm trying to be hostile towards somebody or trying to say people can't people can't do whatever or can't say what they want. So if you're gonna make assumptions on me, I'm gonna make assumptions on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you came here, started making assumptions first. I flipped it on you, made an assumption about you. Now all of a sudden you're getting defensive about it and say, well, what does color have to do with anything? Well, you started the assumptions on me first. So you gonna apologize for that? Or are we gonna call a truce and move on, Hamad? Which one? Let's see. I think Square Enix is better when it comes to Nintendo Switch because Capcom give their games like RE2 Remake, RE3 Remake, RE7, RE8, DMC5. Because give us a lot of their games like RE2 Remake. Those games can't run efficiently on the Switch right now. They tried. So it's not like, you know, Square Enix is giving us like the bigger games that are on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. But no, I see what you're saying. Tracy says no holding back, let him know. He started it, bro. He came here and made an assumption about me. I'm simply talking to the users. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting a bit of extra emphasis on my voice just for presentation purposes. I'm not mad at Zoltor or whatever the case is. It's not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? It's really not. I'm not mad at Drake or anybody. Me and Drake always disagree all the time on stuff. He's never been banned or anything. I don't ban him or anything like that. But he comes here and he makes assumptions about me, so I made an assumption about him. And then he's like, oh, well, wait a minute. What does Cole have to do? Okay, well, who said anything about? I never said that people can't disagree. I simply disagreed with what a couple people said here, and then you made the assumption like, oh well, don't say anything, or then you made the assumption about everything, Hamad. So you started it. Don't sit here and play victim or anything like that. Don't do that, man. You started it. All right. So let me see. I can. The music is so low. You can barely make anything out. The music is so low or it's so high. Which one? You said you can barely make anything out. Which one? So yeah, man. Let's see. One thing I've seen about users respond to everybody, regardless if you agree with them or not. Most folks don't. Yeah, I mean, I can honestly, like seriously, if you guys want, I can just not respond to somebody that I disagree with or whatever, and not give my opinion on what they had to say. I can do that, or I can just say, okay. I can honestly just do that if you guys want me to, because that's what I see a lot of content creators do. They just ignore it. I'm in so many other people's chats, and they've got either the same amount of viewers as me or lower, and they literally ignore stuff that they disagree with. Oh, well, I don't care. Okay, whatever. So I can do that too. You know what I'm saying? I don't, you know, I can do that as well. Y'all let me know. Let me get this music going though. Shout outs to Shinru. Thank you for the $10, man. I appreciate that. I do appreciate it. But so did you guys hear? Bethesda bought, Microsoft bought Bethesda. What are you guys' thoughts on, or what are your thoughts on that? You guys let me know. Breath of the Wild Smash Remix. All right, let me know how the audio. These guys said the audio is too loud or it's not loud. Which one? And which one's the Smash Remix? The main mix? Is it this one? Do you think some Bethesda games should be exclusive to Xbox? Because that's how I feel it should be. Because Xbox has always been sidelined when it comes to exclusives compared to PS and Nintendo. Yeah, I think that Microsoft, since they own Bethesda, it's their right to have some exclusives on Xbox if they feel that it would benefit Game Pass and the Xbox Series and PC. So yeah, I think that's okay. Nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. Microsoft needs Bethesda plus Game Pass desperately. Only thing use my Series X for is playing old 360 games. It's great for that. By the way, I'm a niche gamer. Yeah, Robert, I feel you on that one. Stop the cap and change the title. We all knew that this would be exclusive. We still don't know which games it is. Stop the cap and change the title. No, I'm not gonna change the title because there are people that are definitely upset that that Bethesda. There are people that are upset. No, you said no one's mad. That's not true. Go on Twitter. Go on Twitter and look at how many people are upset. No, there's nobody capping on anything. There's nobody. You came in here upset too the other day when we first talked about it. Keeping you, OJ. This is the best community I've been a part of. No problem. This community isn't for everyone because some people get salty or upset by, you know, they rather have somebody just not say anything to them than actually talk to them and have a conversation with them because they feel that they've been, you know, like I said, I come off too aggressive at them or something like that, or I'm thinking it's not that. I'm not. If I'm upset at you, I'll say, yo, you're a little B word or something. Like I'll actually say it. But if I'm talking games with you, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not that big of a deal if I say like, oh, they're fake ass marketing. It's like that's not a knock on you. That's just a knock on what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like what you said on one thing, it's not a knock on you as an individual. Like it's not a knock on Zoltor. So some people get upset with that, so they can't handle the streams. But it's not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really not. Like I said, the way that I grew up, it was just like I grew up in the arcade scene. You know, so people would say stuff. Oh yeah, you're whack at the game. You're trash at the game. It's like, all right, yeah, okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't a big deal. Like, it wasn't like, and it was like, and I'm saying that nicely. They would say a lot more mean things, but it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't that big of a deal. So some people get a little bit too sensitive when we come here to these streams and talk about video games. It's not that crazy, guys. If I'm upset, I'll make sure I'll let you know. Like that one idiot that was in here the other day, that Ransford or whatever his name is. Yeah, I called him a beta male. Yeah, he's a little bitch. So yeah, I'll make sure to say something. If I feel like, yo, like you disrespected me, I'm gonna say something back and disrespect you as a person or as an individual. I think that it's good that Microsoft bought Bethesda. They needed some exclusives to drive console and Game Pass sales. Yeah. I thought OJ was about to say Bethesda bought Microsoft. I was about to say Bethesda bought Microsoft, but I corrected myself. In terms of production, I agree that things take time. Expectations should be measured. But do you think there's a validity that Nintendo has been neglecting some of their fan base? Neglecting? I mean, I think it's all based off of sales at the end of the day. You know, when something sells, you'll see more of it. When something doesn't sell, you'll see less of it. So has there been some neglect for some stuff? Absolutely. But it's not necessarily because they want to neglect something or anything like that. It's because, hey, this franchise isn't selling as much, or whatever they're working on isn't ready to be shown. So when it's ready, or when the time comes for it to be shown, it'll be shown, you know? People said that they were neglecting Metroid fans. They gave us Metroid in 2017. They showed us a title screen, which everyone got crazy for. The game wasn't ready to be shown, ended up being scrapped. Now we're kind of screwed. We've been waiting forever now. They gave us a Metroid on the 3DS. Nobody bought, well, not that nobody bought it, but people didn't buy the game as much. So, I mean, you can sit here and talk about neglecting or stuff like that all the time, but at the end of the day, a lot of it just comes down to dollars and cents, man. If something sells, you'll see it more. If something doesn't sell, you won't see it as much. That's really what it comes down to. Well, I don't have an Xbox and I prefer Nintendo. I respect Xbox and Phil Spencer. They are doing incredibly hard work to make Xbox an ideal platform to play games. Yeah, I agree. It's a classic predatory business by Microsoft. Buying a supplier of your competitor Bethesda supplies games to Sony is not innovation, but dollars make moves. So we are here. So, but you know, what's it called? Sony's definitely done that as well too, though, right? I mean, like they've also done that. Good for MS and perhaps they'll force some quality controls. So good for everyone. But again, MS did allow Sea of Trash to exist. Well, Sea of Thieves is good now, Zoltor. So, I mean, it took a while, but it's, from what I understand, it's actually a pretty good game right now. Bethesda is about to become what Rare is now. I highly doubt that. Bethesda's still going to stay intact, guys. Everybody that's that's working at Bethesda, they're still staying intact. They're still going to make the same type of games that they're going to make. I think the problem with what happened is that Rare also, they had Banjo-Kazooie, right? They worked on some of Nintendo's stuff as well. They worked on Donkey Kong and things like that. So, I mean, they had Perfect Dark and, whatever, but they just didn't adapt too well to the 360 era. And it kind of killed off some of that stuff, but it's all coming back. So we'll see. But also the shift in platformers too. They weren't able to make, a Banjo-Kazooie that was like nuts and bolts wasn't it, So I think that the type of games that we see from Bethesda translate over. I mean, it's just the same stuff that we got on PS4 and Xbox One, just better resolution and frame rates and stuff like that, better graphics, no loading. So I don't really think anything's gonna change, too much. Yeah, well, Sony does this all the time, but no one complains about that. Some people complain, but there's just a lot of Sony fans, so sometimes it gets drowned out. Sony did it to studios though, not publishers. Well, technically, no, they've done it to publishers, but nobody as big as Bethesda, though. Self-publishing has been a thing with Insomniac, and but yeah, nobody as big as Bethesda. But once again, this is the classic. I think I talked about this when this happened. So you do something, you buy a studio, you buy whatever, and you do something smaller. Then somebody doubles or triples or quadruples you, then you get upset even though you did the same thing. So like a kid comes up to you on the playground and kicks you in the leg. Kicks you 50% in the leg. Well, then you freaking do a double back kick straight to the gut and knock him out. Who's wrong? Like who's at fault here? Did he go a little bit over? Did the back kick to the gut go a little bit overboard? Yeah, it did. But who started it? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you can't hate the fact that they did something when you do it too, just not to the anywhere near as crazy or as big as somebody else did it, but it is what it is, you know? I think Microsoft should acquire a Japanese developer to increase their foothold in Japan. I know they technically did with the Evil Within developers, but companies like Konami would help. I don't really think a company like Konami, first of all, one, that'd be a purchase that they wouldn't be able to do. Two, buying a Japanese company from an American, like buying a Japanese developer from an American company is just extremely difficult. And another problem with that is that it wouldn't do you any good. Like, they're not gonna sell anything in Japan. So what does it matter? You know what I'm saying? Like, Xboxes aren't going to sell in Japan no matter what they have. They tried really hard in the Xbox 360 era. They bought all sorts of exclusives and games and stuff like that, and it didn't work. So there's no point in buying a whole developer like Konami. First of all, Konami would be extremely expensive, you know, because of their IPs that they have. I mean, they have Metal Gear and they just have so much stuff, Contra, all sorts of different things that they have. So just buying them wouldn't be feasible, and once again, it would be a waste. I think it'd be a waste of money, in my opinion. Bethesda makes much more sense, but I don't think buying Konami or a Japanese company makes a lot of sense at all, really. Let's see here. Can't people just be happy for MS for the change? Haters are everywhere. Let's see. That's false equivalency, though. Sony worked extensively with all the studios they purchased. It makes sense for Sony. Well, that's not a false equivalency, because you're adequating what you think is working hard with studios and you're manipulating that. So you're trying to manipulate and steer the conversation into what you think was done with certain companies when you don't know the relationships. So that's not a false equivalence. What you're doing is that you're trying to manipulate the conversation to steer it your way, therefore to push somebody into where it's a fallacy, which is, that's not the case at all, because you weren't there and you don't know what work that they've done with these other studios, with Bethesda. There has been Microsoft and Bethesda deals to where they do things, exclusive DLC, first on Xbox, blah, 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 that they've worked with over the course of the generations at this point. You know, all the way back to the original Elder Scrolls, like on the Xbox and stuff like that. So to sit there and try to assume, oh, well, they've done a lot more work and Microsoft didn't do that. No. You're not there in those business meetings when there's been certain DLC pieces or stuff like that. That's ridiculous, Drake. And no, that's not a false equivalence. That is definitely you trying to manipulate the conversation and acting like you know more, but you don't know. So no, I am going to disagree with that assessment. Karen Buckley says, isn't it the month Nintendo finalizes their purchase of next level games? Yeah, it is, but it doesn't matter because whatever, we already know. Whenever they purchase them, they purchase them. OJ, if they're the other way around, would Sony have Bethesda games on PC and Xbox if it was the other way around? Probably PC. And it'd probably be like a case-by-case basis for Xbox. I think, you know, Microsoft isn't going to box themselves in to say that there's not going to be anything on PC or Xbox or PC or PlayStation, because it might be a good fit. So, for example, a game like Ori and the Blind Forest, right? Let's say Bethesda does, because Bethesda has a lot of teams, right? Let's say they want to do a smaller game, and there's no reason to have it only on this. Maybe they want to have it on Switch. It fits the Switch, or it fits PlayStation. Then, oh yeah, no problem. This is not a big deal. Let's just go ahead and get this game out, you know, on other platforms. Excuse me. Let's just get this game out on other platforms. But if it's a big game that can turn the tide and maybe make people buy an Xbox over a PlayStation, then yeah, then they're gonna do it. You know, like they're gonna say exclusive for the Xbox platform. But there's no need to box yourself in and say nothing else on any other system. Why? Microsoft bought Minecraft and they didn't say no, only on Xbox there. Microsoft has, you know, Moon Studio, or not, they don't have Moon, but they, you know, Ori and Cuphead, and they said, okay, those are gonna be on those systems too. So, like, to me, there's no reason to sit there and say everything's gonna be, when you don't know. You don't know what's gonna happen in the future. So there's no point, you know? Sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it doesn't. Well, the Evil Within developers are now owned by Xbox and developers are owned by ZeniMax. Yeah, I already know that. So what are you trying, like, you know, so what? That's not the same. Tango is not the same as freaking Konami or something like that. You know, they're not. Tango's not a publisher. They're not a major publisher. They're a developer. They were an independent company first and foremost. Then they were picked up. Okay, so that's a completely different pipeline there, man. Now MS allows mods. Sony doesn't, for a good example. I don't know if that's the case for all of Sony's games. I'll say it again, until Microsoft gets Scalebound back, I ain't buying no Xbox. Troy Perry is not the best. Well, I mean, that's you, but a lot of people are buying Xbox, so you don't have to. I don't think Scalebound's coming back either. The Bethesda thing is interesting. A lot of you guys have comments. Make sure you tag me so I can see your comments. The Bethesda thing is interesting. Microsoft doesn't necessarily approach things the same as Sony and Nintendo, so I'm not sure if the purchase means they'll go 100% Xbox exclusive. They already said that they won't, though. Like, I think that's already... Yeah, they said that it depends. It's going to be, you know, kind of like on a game-by-game basis. They're really looking at it like some of it will, some of it won't. And that's really all we need to know. Some of it will, some of it won't. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, you know? Nothing wrong with that. The MS Xbox working with Bethesda? Okay. We will run out of third parties eventually with Microsoft around. Everything's just gonna be Microsoft's gonna own third parties. They're gonna own it. It's a first party, a first third party. Oh my gosh. From my phone, it looks like a super chat button has been removed from the YouTube app. It shouldn't. Let me check. Use the Streamlabs if you can. If you can use the Streamlabs, you can definitely do that. But let me check. I don't look at the YouTube interface, man. I'll be honest, guys. Like, I don't ever look at YouTube's interface. So let me double check. So let me double check here. I'm clicking on this. I'm clicking on this Mortal Kombat thing. It says chat publicly, live chat. Dude, I have no idea. If it has, my bad, dude. Try to use the Streamlabs if you can. I don't know. xCloud could make inroads in Japan for Microsoft. No, it can't. Let's see here. MV says, with time, Microsoft will acquire EA. I think they tried already and they didn't happen. So I don't know if that'll happen. The reason why I say Xbox can't make inroads with xCloud is like, who cares about xCloud? You need games. You need what does xCloud offer game-wise? Japanese gamers have cell phones. You can play cloud games and you can play free-to-play games on your cell phone. There's a million Naruto, Dragon Ball Z. What are they playing? They're playing Nier. What's that? There's 10 million downloads in Japan for this damn Nier mobile game. Like, I don't know why people like. Why do people keep saying that? xCloud is gonna make it. Why? Do you think Japanese gamers want to sit there and play Gears of War on their phone? And their phone cooks, and for like you can play 25 minutes of Gears of War on your phone with xCloud servers and graphics. And like, who wants to do that? Like, nobody wants to do that in Japan. Can we stop with this cap of xCloud in Japan? I've heard people say that. Like, can we stop with this? You see Japanese gamers playing Halo on their phone? Quit, cut it out. Cut it out, guys. Why would they do that? Like, think about that for a second. Why would a Japanese gamer want xCloud? For what? For what? There's a bazillion small mobile games that are far more entertaining in bite-sized chunks and pieces when you're on the train, when you're on the bullet train, when you're on the bus, when you're waiting for your Uber or your ride. Why are you gonna sit there and get into some Gears of War on your phone or something? Like, I don't understand this when people say that. People have been saying that too. I don't get it. I don't get it. Says, who actually streams triple? Yeah, why am I gonna sit there? Oh heck yeah, man! It's time to play Final Fantasy 19 on my phone. Like, why? I'm just gonna have to freaking turn it off and cut it off anyway because I'm going somewhere. I'm like, if I'm gonna play like a dedicated experience, I'm not gonna rely upon the internet. I'm gonna freaking get a Switch. Oh, I'm just gonna play an offline game. If I have a lot of time to burn on like a train or something, I'm not gonna rely upon streaming, right? I'm just gonna play an offline game, like a game that I can just play on my Switch. I'm not gonna sit here and do xCloud, you know? Like, so can somebody explain to me this xCloud in Japan thing that I've seen people talk about? Let me know, please. Let me know. Games like Spider-Man, Ghost, Silent Hill 5 would make sense for Japanese to play over the cloud. No, it wouldn't. If it made sense to play all those games, the PS Vita wouldn't have died. The PS Vita wouldn't have died if people were really sitting here trying to play all this stuff on cloud and streaming and remote play and all this stuff like that. Then the PS Vita would have got cooked. People ain't trying to play all that in Japan. Y'all out here acting like you guys are Japanese market analysts. Yo, Drake, what happened to your analytical Amazon in Japan, PS5 in Japan? Oh, what happened to all that? Y'all better just relax and listen to what I'm saying here as somebody who's been studying the Japanese market for nearly a decade. So let's see here. Data has shown an increase in xCloud usage in South Korea versus US and UK. Same could potentially translate to Japan. Based off of what? Same could based off an increase in usage from what to what? That is questionable data. Data has shown that there's an increase in xCloud usage. Okay, what was the usage beforehand and what is the usage now at this point? Once again, you said South Korea is South Korea. What does that have to do with Japan and what's going on there? The sales and what's going on in Japan is not the same in South Korea. So you're saying the same could happen to Japan based off of what? What are the games? What was it before? What is it now? I'm gonna need more data before I sit there and say there's going to be something. I'm sorry, that is a little small hanging piece of fruit, and your boy isn't biting at all, okay? I'm not biting at all, okay? So we're going to have to see I'm going to need to know a little bit more than that in order for me to sit there and say, all right, I agree with you on it, you know? So it's both predominantly mobile markets. Okay. And what we've seen predominantly with mobile markets is that they want to play either Switch or they want to play the games like Octopath Mobile or other stuff like that. They don't want to necessarily play streaming Gears of War. So where's the data that shows that people want to play Western games or Western style games streaming over xCloud? Where's that data at? So, and what are the usage rates of the bigger games for xCloud? What games are people playing? Are they big games? Are they smaller games? I need to know more than that. There's not enough information. Not enough information. Now, South Korea is largely PC gaming focused. So Microsoft never said what starting figure was for the increase, just useless data. Yeah, it's just, exactly, it's just useless data. Oh, we've seen a little bit of an increase. That's a marketing tactic, by the way, guys. It's just to show, oh, look, xCloud, something positive is happening with it. Don't get me wrong, xCloud is cool, but I don't see, based off of what I'm looking at, the data that I'm looking at, I see Japanese gamers are more than happy and content with Switch, okay, and mobile gaming. Like I said, that Nier game has 10 million downloads for that Nier game. It's blowing up. They're more content with getting their IPs that they know and their franchises that they know and getting them in mobile form. Look at Fire Emblem Heroes. Look at Dragalia Lost. Look at these type of games. You know, like they're well more than content with games like that than streaming on xCloud Gears of War. Like it's not enough. You need to have the IP. It's not just about having streaming and mobile. Oh, it's a mobile market, so therefore you want to play it. No, you've got to have the IP with the mobile market. If it was just mobile market and no IP, it wouldn't be as big. You need the IP. It's not just mobile market, guys. A lot of you guys are, oh, well, mobile, right? No, there's IPs behind that mobile market. There's Fire Emblem, there's, Nier, there's other IPs that people are actually invested in. What's the IPs that's going to get them to do this? So once they figure that out and we see data that Japan is interested in these IPs that are being put on this service, then I would agree with some of you guys. But until I see that, I'm not going to agree with it. I don't see any IPs that the Japanese gamers are going to buy or that the gamers are going to want to stream. Where's that at? I don't think games like Silent Hill, Metal Gear, Astro Bot would help gamers move over to the cloud. I don't think so. I don't think so. Personally, I don't. I think as far more Western games go, like the indies, not necessarily AAA. What indies are doing that? Japan, I'm not seeing it. So a lot of you guys are making up stuff. That's fine, but I'm not seeing it. Sorry. Nobody's here can convince me yet. Konami owns Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is the best-selling card game in the world every year since 2011. Konami is making tons of money on Yu-Gi-Oh! And have no interest in being bought. I'm aware of that. It's the people in the chat here saying that Microsoft should buy Konami. That's what I'm like. I don't think that's what I said. It's easier said than done. You got people that are backseat CEOs that think that anybody can just run up and buy Konami or buy Square Enix like it's a loaf of bread at the store. I mean, I'm not saying that. Nier's on xCloud, but Japanese gamers don't want to play the full fudging Nier Automata on xCloud. They rather just play a game that's actually built for mobile gameplay. A lot of you guys don't understand that. People, and I don't know why you don't understand that. Like, people have never wanted to play big old, huge, full console style games streaming over a cloud. That's never been something unlike, they want to play like the short bite-sized type of games. I mean, stuff like Genshin Impact, that's like built for mobile, right? That's like kind of like built for mobile in certain ways in terms of how you play it and everything. Like, they don't want, like, Nier Automata is not built for mobile. That's why they made a mobile game. If Nier Automata was already built for mobile gameplay, then there'd be no need to build a mobile version of a Nier franchise. Just put the Nier game on mobile, and that's that. But no, they actually have to make a mobile game. It's not, people don't want to sit there and play super console games that are built for console on mobile like crazy. Now, some, yeah, but most people don't, and that's what we're seeing right now. So yeah. Seen the email this morning about my card was overdrawn or something. Your card was overdrawn or something like that. Overdrawn on, like, I can't help you with that. Your card being overdrawn with your bank, that's something you got to solve with your bank. Are you good though, man? You good, YZ? Excuse me. Robert says, I tried to love xCloud and just not very satisfying. Playing Destiny 2 and Halo on the phone just too small, clearly not designed for it. There's a reason mobile games exactly. Thank you, Robert. Like, I don't want to play Destiny. It's like gaming's not that important. It's like I don't have to play Destiny or Gears of War on a mobile phone when I'm about to go sitting in line at Burger King waiting for some nuggets or something like that. Like, I don't need to do that. Like, legit, I can just like hop on Twitter and talk smack or put out a tweet and I'd rather interact with you guys via Twitter or, you know, messages or whatever in my time period than even sit there and I'm not going to sit there and play Gears or whatever the case is. So I don't see this whole, and the same goes for Switch sometimes too. It's like, sometimes I want to play, but a lot of the time I don't. A lot of the time I play the Switch handheld lying down in bed before, like, I'm watching like a stream. That's what I use it for. Do I take it out sometimes? Yeah, I take it to my mom's house. I do take it to my mom's house, but I play it inside of her house. Like, I don't ever really play it in the same sense that I would use my mobile phone. When I'm like outside, like Walmart or stuff like that, I'm not gonna bring my Switch with me and play it in between stuff because I'm not gonna get a real good time to play, right? So I'd rather just bring my phone and like play like a little stupid game on there, or just interact with you guys instead. Just look at posts or look at my YouTube channel and like make a poll or something like that, you know? So yeah, man. Okay, well then why isn't PS Now blown up in Japan? Or why isn't PS Now taken off in Japan then? PS Now has been out, Drake. PS Now has been out for how long? Why is Switch kicking its ass? Let me know in the chat. Y'all let me know. Why is Switch, you can't play games like Ghost, God of War, Death Stranding, Silent Hills on the Switch. PS Now can make it in Japan. Okay, so then why is Switch beating the brakes off of PS Now and PlayStation in Japan? Let me know, Drake. Since you know, let me know. I want to know, what is your excuse to why PS Now is getting absolutely destroyed in Japan by the Switch? Let me know. Since you're so smart and you know everything, and PS Now's been available for a while now, you know, and you're the 21 years old, and you know all this, you know the markets. You've been damn near wrong on everything in Japan so far, but you continue to talk about Japan. So I want to know when is it gonna happen? When is PS Now? Now that the Switch has been out for how many years now? PS Now has been available for how many years in Japan? When will the tide turn? Look at all those games that you just mentioned. God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, Look at all these super big, great games that the PS Now has. Okay, so what's taking it so long? I want to know, since you're the expert here. You know more than me. So what's the holdup? What's the holdup? Sony isn't focusing on it. It's still 720p, 30 frames per second. It's not being pushed, not even being marketed. That's about what Switch runs at. So they're on an even playing ground, so it doesn't matter, right? So not pushing it, what's happening? Like, so if Sony pushed it more Japanese gamers would be willing to buy it, even though they know it's available, they've seen it there. So what you said, it has a chance, but you just said Sony's not pushing it. So if Sony's not pushing it, then it doesn't have a chance, because your excuse for it not doing so well at this point is that because Sony's not pushing it. Okay? So when is Sony going to push it then? When is Sony to where it has a chance? Or was it just the hypothetical that you're saying? If Sony pushed it, then they would have a chance? Is that what you're saying? It's a hypothetical. Okay, if it's a hypothetical, then okay, it's a hypothetical. It's probably not going to happen, but I guess you can dream about it, right? Let's see here. Ridiculous Richie says, man, I'm trying to send you a super chat, but for some odd reason, it won't let me. Okay, so I think I know what's happening here, guys, with super chat. I think it's my studio thing. I have to enable it because I don't think I enabled it yet. Because I restarted my my media thing got restarted. So let's see here. So yeah, turn on super chat. Okay, turn on super chat. Enable stickers. Okay, there you go. There you go. All right, guys. Refresh the stream. It reset my... That's the reason why super chat was disabled, guys. Because it was... Because I got a new network, or at least my network switched over to somebody else, essentially. So it reset all my monetization on my channel. And I had to redo everything this morning. And all that. So that's that. So anyway, I enabled it now. So there you go. Okay, so okay, I think we're gonna get... Okay, this is not good. It's gonna literally go through every like super chat like in the past. Yeah, the past whatever. Stop a muddle on this YouTube! YouTube, we hate you! This is actually kind of funny. Let's just react to all this, guys. Let's react to YouTube just stomping YouTube over and over and over and over. Just keep going. It's fine. Oh my god, man. This is so funny. How much wine is he gonna drink? He's definitely drunk at this point. He's definitely drunk, drinking all that wine. Now, this is definitely some Fidel stuff going on right now, man. Yeah, well, YouTube's rich, since they take 30% of it. I think it's legitimately going to go over every single super chat in the world. It might go over every super chat. Okay. It might just go over every super chat. Okay, so we're gonna have to cut this off, guys. Alright. Alright. Chase Williams with the $5 and says, beat it down! Beat it down. I cut it off, then I turned it back on. So let's see if it even works. We'll see if it even works then. I turned it off and turned it back on. Yo, YZ250 with the $40. And he says, keep it rolling. Yo, thank you for the 40. YZ. I don't know. Is it gonna work now, guys? Because I turned it off and turned it back on, and then it just went like... It just like stopped. Hold up. Okay, there you go. I did it manually, and it worked manually. Thank you for the chasing. It says beat it down. Appreciate it. We'll see when... Oh, there you go. YZ with the $40. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. All right, it looks like we're good for right now, guys. It looks like, I mean, it was gonna do every single super chat that I've maybe ever gotten. Like, it was going in like a line, like in every single super chat that I've ever gotten. I was like, okay, this is gonna take literally, we would be here all night. If it's from like the beginning of time of super chats, like, we'd be here forever. We can't have that. So YZ250, thank you for the support, man. I appreciate that. That makes you the Hokage of the stream. And also the top stream ninja with that $40 donation, man. I really do appreciate that. Thank you for the support. Sorry for not having that enabled, guys. I know some of you guys only have that option. And I do appreciate anything that I do get, regardless. So thank you for that, YZ. I really do appreciate that. I really do. Thank you. That's very nice of you. Very, 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 very generous and nice of you, man. And don't think for 1 second that I don't appreciate you guys' support here on the channel, because I do, honestly. Yeah, it would have been like a 24-hour stream. It would have definitely been like a 24-hour stream. Like, it definitely would have been a 24-hour stream. And I can't do that. You know I'm old at this point. You guys know I'm old. Troy Perry with the $5 says, today's a good day. Xbox is the best box. Xbox is definitely the best box for today. It's definitely the best box for today. I think what Microsoft is trying to do here, Troy, thank you for the 5, man. I appreciate the support, man. I really do. Thank you. I think what Microsoft is trying to do here, they're trying to build a long-term first-party development of software for, like, you know, the next 15, 20 years. Not necessarily the next, you know, or sorry, the next 10 years. 5 to 10 years, not necessarily the next year or 2 years. So I think that's what they're trying to do. The stando. Stando! So yeah, man. Hey, what's up, Get On? I know we usually troll Microsoft, but Troy, I'll give you this. Yeah, I mean, Microsoft is definitely the redheaded stepchild at times. At times. Not all the time, but at times they're definitely the redheaded stepchild. So yeah, I agree. I think they get teased a lot, and I think today's their day. We need to give Microsoft their props. They put up the cheddar. You know, they put up the bread. They got it done. And, you know, like, it is what it is, man. Like, I don't know what else people can be upset about. I know some Sony gamers are upset because, you know, obviously it's a third-party company and, you know, they're used to playing Bethesda games on Sony platforms. But it's gonna be one of those things to where, like I said, like, it happened to Nintendo fans with Rare, and you're just gonna have to deal with it, you know? If there was social media back then, though, I think Nintendo fans would have been crying and complaining, though. I think Nintendo fans would have been crying and complaining a lot because there goes Banjo, there goes Perfect Dark, you know, there goes some pretty good IP, right? There goes Battletoads and all sorts of stuff, you know? So I think that, I definitely think that Nintendo fans would have been crying and complaining and whining. Let's see here. Ridiculous Richie says, yo, Ozzy, I'm dying. Super Chats went ham for a minute. Yeah, they did, man. Thank you for the $1.99, dude. I appreciate that. We can't give them props? No, you can't give them props because you're a hardcore Sony dude. If Sony bought them, you'd be giving them hella props. I don't say that you wouldn't. Don't say that you wouldn't, Drake. You'd be like, oh, hell yeah, Bethesda. No, I'm going to give them props. I'm going to give them props because they have the powers in their hand. You know? What do you rank Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo? For me, I like Nintendo the most. And then I'd probably say second, PlayStation for first-party games. But in terms of like the system itself, I think Xbox probably makes the best system itself. And then I'd say PlayStation, then I'd say Nintendo. So software, Nintendo, Sony, Xbox. Hardware, Xbox, Sony, Nintendo. Monado Mario says, OJ is wild with the roasting today. Oh, I love it. Yeah. Shinru says, I just might have to buy an Xbox to play Doom games. We'll see how it turns out in the next few years. Yeah, you might. You might. Wolf Stars says, what would you? Why would it matter if Xbox is in Japan? Japan is a big market, but look at the value of the dollar versus the yen. US is more important market for them financially. It is. It is. Obviously, there's still a big market in Japan, though. Nintendo obviously makes a ton of money in Japan. I think Sony, with the PS4, made a lot of money in Japan as well. So there's still definitely a market there. But for Xbox, it doesn't make as much sense because they don't have the IP to take advantage of that market. So it doesn't matter to them, and that's what I've been trying to say. You know, for me personally, it doesn't matter to them. But money's still money at the end of the day, and there's still a lot of money to be made. Japan's still a major market in the world, you know? Still a major market in the world. If you're getting mad over video games, you have a more serious problem to worry about. Yeah, man. I feel you. He'd be fanboying in this chat like crazy if Sony. Oh yeah, he would definitely be that. Cause like, I mean, look at that state of play that we got, dude. He was like going crazy over like little games here and there. Like if Bethesda bought, you know, or Sony bought Bethesda, excuse me. If Sony bought Bethesda, he'd be like, oh hell yeah, we got Starfield, this is exclusive. Like, he'd be going crazy with that, you know? But it's whatever, man. You get Apex Legends package yet today? Not yet, man. They might have put it at my doorstep. I can't hear it because like the people here, they don't ring my doorbell whenever the people come to my. It's like I have like a screen, like a metal fencing, you know, on my and like they don't ring the damn doorbell. They bang on that screen and I can't hear that screen all the time, you know. But no, I haven't got it yet, Diego. Have you played Metal Gear Solid 5? Have you played Metal Gear Solid 5? Yeah, I've played it. So what? It's old. Microsoft has been trying to break into Japan for 20 years. Not gonna happen. They tried to break into Japan with the 360, but the Xbox they never did. The 360 they actually tried. They tried for about a good 4 years. They tried, like with you know, Blue Dragon, Lost Odyssey, Eternal Sonata, Star Ocean 4. So from about 2006, 2005 to about 2010, Microsoft legitimately tried to get into Japan and failed. So they never went back after that, though. They stopped buying all the exclusives in Japan and all that. After 2010, there wasn't any more like timed exclusives. They didn't do anything more with Mistwalker. They didn't do anything more like with Square Enix when it comes to like certain stuff. But they tried. Like they did like Infinite and Discovery. Like they did a bunch of stuff in Japan. But it all flopped when it comes to stuff in Japan. It didn't make sense. So yeah. The Xbox One, they didn't even really try. Xbox One, they didn't try. Xbox Series X, they're not trying at all in Japan. Like, they're barely trying at all. They've done a few things here and there. They get, you know, Dragon Quest 11S on Game Pass. Of course it's going to go to Game Pass. Nobody's going to buy that on the Xbox. Who's going to go to the store and be like, I would like one copy of Dragon Quest 11S, please, on the Xbox? Hell no. Like, PlayStation, yeah. They'll buy it on there. Nintendo, yeah. But nobody's going to go and buy Dragon Quest 11 for $60. For $50, for $40, dude, $30? Hell no. So yeah, they can get stuff like that, or like Yakuza Like a Dragon or Yakuza games. Nobody's gonna go out there and buy those in large amounts on Xbox, so they can go get those on Game Pass, give them some money, make Game Pass a little bit more appealing. But yeah. I thought Lost Odyssey was very good and runs great on the Series X too. It is really good. Who said that it wasn't? You said you thought Lost Odyssey was very good? Or you're just saying, oh, you think you think Lost Odyssey is really good? Yeah, just because the game's really good doesn't mean it's going to make everybody in Japan buy the game or buy an Xbox. I mean, like, you know, if that's what you were trying to say, like, oh, I thought it was good. What happened? That doesn't matter. There's lots of good games that don't do as well, you know? So, yeah. If Sony wanted to get a Mistwalker game on the PlayStation, then they should have got them. They should have got them to do it. Nintendo paid for that game, so I don't understand why you said you can't believe. Let's see here. THC says also I want to do a call out in the chat right real quick. Drake claimed that PS5 was #1 in Japan. Me, Gun, and fact check that statement. Number one is currently Monster Hunter Rise. Wait a minute. He claimed that PS5 wait, hold up. PS5 is #1 in Japan. #1 in what? Shinru with the doll donation says, big if Microsoft buying Square Enix, would they be noticed more by the Japanese market? Yeah, they'd be noticed more, but it wouldn't help. It still wouldn't help them get over the hump or anything. It was #1 on Amazon Japan. Even I took a screenshot. It was #1 on Amazon Japan. You took a screenshot. It said PS5 was #1 on Amazon Japan. Yeah, because some people are. Yeah, they got a restock. So what's gonna be when they get a restock? It'll be #1. when they run out, it'll go right back down to where it was. Xbox was #1 on Amazon Japan at 1.2. Let's see how the actual sales numbers turn out in the media create, or in the what's it called? There was a big restock in Japan. I think they had a boost up to, they got about 30K in the Famitsu sales. They got about 30K. There was a big restock. Still got smoked by the Switch. Switch still sold more than double it in Japan, but there was a nice restock in Japan. So that's great. But it amounted to about 30K units sold in Japan for the past week, right? So, I mean, that's good. Positive growth is always good, but what are you bragging for? It still got beat out by a large amount. I always say Media Create because it was Media Create for many years. The Media Create went paid, then everybody just switched over to Famitsu because they're free. The Japanese would be more to turn on Square if they sold to MS. Yeah, I think it might be like, yo, we're going to turn on you because they don't really play Xbox like that, you know? So yeah, I mean that's great. Don't get me wrong. I want to see PlayStation do great in Japan, but we got to look at it from a realistic standpoint. Being #1 on Amazon Japan is great. That's good, but we need to see the actual results. And the actual results of it was a bump, which is nice, but it's clearly it's still not very good. Remember, the PS5 is still the slowest selling PlayStation system of all time in Japan. It's out of all of them, it's the worst selling one. It's the worst selling one to start a generation. Now that's partly due to because Sony's not sending enough systems there. If they sent more, then they'd probably do better, but that's also part of, you know, them shifting focus and priority away from the Japanese market and more to the Western market. So it's always a balance. It's a yin and a yang. There's always a balance. There's no balance. The only person that's balanced when it comes down to it is Nintendo, because their games are for everybody. It fits pretty much there's very few games that can't do well. Like Mario does great in Japan, it does great in America, it does great in Europe, right? Smash Brothers does great in Japan, it does great in Europe, it does great in America. Luigi's Mansion does, like, Nintendo has the most balance between all the major markets. Nintendo's games have the most balance, so therefore their sales can be balanced in all the different markets. Yeah, the US is gonna sell the most, right? Their games are gonna sell the most, but that's just because there's more people here. But overall, the balance between the sales are the most even for Nintendo, but that's different. Microsoft and Sony can't replicate that, you know? Sony tried to replicate that, but they failed. You know, they tried, but they failed. PS5 has games. It's just the beginning of the generation, guys. So it's just taking a little bit more time. But they have some games. They have some. I mean, they have you know, Demon Souls. They have Miles Morales. They've got the new Housemarque game coming up. So they've got some, but it's still early. It's still early. Y'all need to stop, bro. Chris Levi says, to be honest, people need to gotta let Xbox have its day. The Bethesda deal is for the long-term growth of the Xbox game division, and there are first-party games line up because they know they've been lacking. Yeah, absolutely, Chris. I agree with you there. Yeah, Sackboy, Destruction All-Stars, Godfall, Returnal, Deathloop, Kenna, Ghostwire, Horizon 2. Some of those games are pretty far out, but all right. But yeah, I don't know. We might have left Destruction All-Stars off that list. We probably should have left Destruction All-Stars off that list. But Demon Souls, Spider-Man, Sackboy, those are all launch titles. Spider-Man is on PlayStation 4, and Sackboy's also on PlayStation 4. So out of all those games, Godfall is just terrible. So out of all those games, really, and Demon Souls is a remake of Demon Souls is a remake of a PS3 game. But it's still a really good remake. It still is a really good remake. It still really is. And we'll see about Horizon when that comes out. Returnal's coming. Kenna's coming. Kenna's also PS4, but still, it's still coming. Deathloop. Deathloop looks suspect, but you know, it's suspect, but okay. Breath of the Wild's a Wii U game, and we count as a Switch game. Let's do the same, bro. No, I agree. I said it's PS4 too, but you know, like Breath of the Wild is definitely also a Wii U game, and people count it as a Switch too. You're right. I mean, I'm still counting the games. You know, I'm just saying. You know, it is there. People still bring that up, which it's a legitimate thing to bring up. Legitimate thing to bring up. It's just, I think the biggest issue is that a lot of the games are also on PS4 or already available. You know, they need some actual individual, like, you know, some individual games that are for the system. You know, I think like the Returnal game for the system, Ratchet and Clank for the system. You know, Switch got those around ARMS was the first one, right? Just for the Switch. Then Splatoon, just for the Switch. Mario plus Rabbids, just for the Switch. You know? Super Mario Odyssey, just for the Switch. Xenoblade Chronicles, just for the Switch. So I think by the end of the year, we'll see a better balance of just... Although Horizon's for PS4 as well, but, you know, you know what I mean. Ratchet and Clank and Returnal, those are both just for PlayStation 5. So I think those will help out a lot. But, I mean, PS5 sold out anyway, so what does it matter? Like, anytime that the PS5 becomes available, people don't even have the ability to play the games they want to play on PS5. They want to play Sackboy in 10K resolution or whatever. They can't even do that yet. So it doesn't matter what... They don't need to flood the market with a bunch of games that people can't even buy at this point, right? So what's the point? You know? Snipper Clips is yeah, but it's a smaller in game. But yeah, you're right. Snipper Clips, that's definitely just for Switch. But I mean, I didn't mention 1-2 Switch. That's just for Switch. But you know, it's 1-2 Switch. But Snipper Clips is definitely a lot better than 1-2 Switch. Let's not put it in the same category. I'm gonna be honest. Pandemic aside, this might be the weakest console launch I've ever seen. Yeah, there's backwards compatibility, but aside from Demon Souls, ain't much. Should have been delayed. Yeah, I agree, because it's been, you know, it's been November, December, January, February, March. It's been 4 months now, you know, since launch, and there still isn't, you know, a lot of big exclusives. I mean, like, even like one more big exclusive would have helped, you know, in that time frame, like a Splatoon type of situation, right? To where, like, you know, March, April, you know, May, June, right there, June, we already had ARMS come out, big kind of exclusive. Rollback netcode on that too, or we have something that's kind of like unique, built for the system. Destruction All Stars obviously wasn't that. I mean, it's a PS Plus game. You know, they realize that that game's not that great. You know, but it's still there, I guess, right? But yeah, the consoles definitely should have been delayed. I mean, if they delayed the consoles and then rolled out the games from here on out, I mean, imagine if PS5 launches with, like, even if it's dual launch, it dual launches like with the Horizon Zero Dawn. That would have been they would have had more stock ready to go. They would have had more games for the pipeline. It would have been great if they would have just waited till this holiday to launch. It would have been so much better. Halo would have been ready to go. You know, Horizon Zero Dawn would have been ready to go. They would have had a steady flow of games to come out. You could have brought out Ratchet and Clank. I mean, it would have just been great. You could have picked Ratchet and Clank, or Horizon, and you could have released it in like a good time frame instead of having these big fat gaps in between. So yeah, they definitely should have waited, but it is what it is, you know. I said April, June 2021 is when they should have launched. Yeah, that's probably would have been better if they waited till April. They would have had more stock available too. Look at all the stock that's becoming available now at this point, right? Look at all the stock that we're getting now. Imagine if they launched with that type of good stock. Hell, people would have been able, boom, day one, day two, first month. Hell, of people go out there snapping up these systems. And then, okay, yeah, you're going to have the inevitable, okay, we can't find a system, but it still would have been much better. There was barely any stock. There was not enough stock, like nowhere near enough stock at last year, like not even close, you know? Microsoft still doesn't have enough stock. Microsoft is selling everything they got and still getting kind of smoked by PlayStation. So Microsoft right now is worst off, but they're not producing anywhere near as much, right? Like, look at all the systems that are being sold. Switch is still like producing way more than Microsoft and Sony are producing, like by a large amount, you know, and they're selling out. Microsoft and Sony are selling out of every single system and still getting smoked worldwide by Switch sales. And they're selling out. That tells me there's nowhere near enough systems. And you can find Switches in stores, right? So you can go to the stores and you can see Switches on store shelves, right? Okay? And they're still getting smoked in sales. So that tells me that there is a fat shortage. Like, there is just simply not enough. If you sell out of everything and you still getting smoked by a system that has stock in stores, you're not bringing enough to the table. There's clearly not enough, you know? What's up, David? You mean the stock only scalpers have? Yeah, but I mean, the more stock that you have, the more scalpers can't get, the more it devalues it. The reason why that the value is so high with scalpers is because the stock is so low. If there was a lot more stock, the value wouldn't be as high for these systems. It's supply and demand, boys and girls, you know? It's supply and demand. If there's 8 PlayStations and a scalper bought all 8 PlayStations and people really want PlayStations, then therefore the value goes up tremendously. Just like Jordans, right? They only make 1,000 pair of these special edition Jordans. Well, the price of those Jordans go tremendously up and scalpers get those Jordans, right? But if you make 5 million pairs of these Jordans, the value goes down because scalpers will buy them, but there's a lot more. Scalpers can't get everything. You see what I'm saying? So it's a supply and demand thing. The more that you make, the less the value will be for something that's hot on the market, something that's new, you know? If Sony made, this is obviously hype, obviously it's not gonna happen, but if Sony made 100 million PlayStation 5s at launch, would we have any problem finding a PS5 at launch? No. Would scalpers be a problem? No, obviously not. There's more supply than there is even demand. So everyone's good, right? So the key is trying to balance it and getting it just about right, which unfortunately most companies can't do. Nintendo can't do it, Microsoft can't do it, Sony can't do it. So yeah. So no political stuff in the chat here, James. And capitalize your name. It's James with the capital J. Shinru with the dollar donation says, back on topic of Nintendo wanting wanting even sales across all regions. Is that why we wouldn't see Mario football game? Because American football is only popular here and then anywhere else in the world. Is that a bad thing though? Play ideal from real P5. I think that's definitely plays a part into it, Shinru. I don't think you're off in what you're saying. So I think that definitely plays a part into why that's the case, you know? So yeah. It's only popular here in America, so they'd rather do stuff like tennis or golf or, you know, soccer. That's popular pretty much everywhere, you know? T-Mobile messaging me. Thank you for the dollar donation, man. I appreciate that. You're doing community games today? No community games today. We'll be back probably tomorrow with either Smash Brothers or with Splatoon. So yeah. Yo, what's going on with the Switch Pro? Switch Pro is not even in the title of this video. What are you asking me about Switch Pro for? I got videos on my channel that talk about it. We got a video going up tomorrow morning. So if you want to know about Switch Pro, then it's on the channel, bro. It's already there. Watch the videos. But I don't think I even said, did I put Switch Pro in the title of this live stream? I don't think I did. Yeah, Capcom versus Square Enix Switch, yeah. I didn't even put it in the title. So channel's there for you, man. Watch the videos. I just picked up Smash again. Oh, okay, you got Smash, so you can definitely play with this next time here. Hey, what's up, Charity? That's fine if you're replying to somebody though, but James, no politics like religion, stuff like that in the chat, man. It ends up derailing everything, man. Hopefully you understand. Let's see here. The Fuge Furniture Mart we have in Omaha has 21 Switches. When I walked into their large gaming section, I came back 6 minutes. They had 12 left. Yeah, I mean, people buy the Switch at a steady clip, you know. So it's never going to be like, oh, we don't have any or we're sold out completely. I mean, sometimes that happens. But for the most part, you know, nah. Also, you have to realize that I'm not sure if there's a Nintendo with that whole Mario football. I'm not sure if Nintendo has a company that can do that. Because Next Level Games, they're Canadian. And Canada, I mean, they're not really into football like that. They are. There's a Canadian Football League, but it's not like super popular or anything like that, like extremely popular. So I think that like they'd have to get a developer that actually knows football, you know, and not, you know, they don't know anyone that knows football. So, some dude with the doll donations. Honestly, it's looking like a PS3 type of situation where Sony is going to be taking a huge loss on these consoles for now because of how little games are being purchased because of how low stock in these box consoles. Scalpers have just sitting. Yeah, well, they got the PS4 to help them out, you know. So yeah, people have already forgotten how good Doom Eternal is, Game of the Year contender, and possibly exclusive Xbox going forward. I don't think people have forgotten. I think people know how good Doom is. OJ, you know people can talk about other stuff on streams. OJ, you know people can talk about other stuff on streams. What does that mean? What do you mean? We have rules. We have rules here. So like we gotta follow the rules. So people are allowed to talk about things, but it has to fall in line with the rules that I've set. And you know, if people don't want to follow the rules, then they can get timed out or get their comments deleted or leave. So yeah, we have rules. And if you're trying to say like people are allowed to, or are you just talking about people can talk about stuff on, I think you meant off stream or somewhere else. Yeah, talk about it somewhere else, but not here. PS5 exclusive people on PS Plus. Ace, I don't know, man. It's a weird situation, bro, with that. Camelot's a Japanese company. They don't know anything about American football. Other than Canada, and football here is huge. I think you meant soccer. If you mean like American style football, it's big, but it's not like the US big. I would probably say outside of the US, yes. Canada is probably in terms of excitement for US American football, Canada's probably next in line. But there's a huge gap. It's just like the US and the US excitement for American football's up here, and then like Canada's like here, and then everybody else is like all the way down at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's worldwide, people do like it, but it's just not as, outside of the US, countries just aren't as crazy about it. But yeah, Canada's probably number 2. I'd probably say Canada's number 2 for American football. OJ, did you do the Sega and Atlas survey? Not yet. I think Canada's also the only other place outside of the US that actually has a legitimate pro football league. Where there used to be NFL Europe, but that was owned by the US. The CFL is not owned by owned by the NFL. The CFL is not owned by the NFL, so there's no other real professional like American football leagues or just like US style football in any other country outside of like US and Canada. I know there are some small ones, but nothing to where it's like, you know, big time where guys are actually getting paid a legitimate decent salary. I know there's like something in Europe, like a smaller league and all that, but there isn't anything like big. Whereas like baseball, there's plenty of there's baseball leagues, there's the world's game of football, there's plenty of professional football leagues around the world. There's plenty of professional basketball leagues. That you have the Euro League basketball. You have Australian, professional basketball. You have all sorts of places, that play that. So like football, American football is just not. It's just not built like that, for every single country. RG creates. Oh yeah, I know. I'm not. Well, I'm from here, but my family's from Africa, so I've been to other countries, and I know what people think. I don't know everything, but I know what people think of American football. They think of it as something that's amusing, but it's not something that's like super popular. Like they watch it, like if you put it in front of them, they'll be like, oh wow, this is kind of crazy. Violent, but kind of crazy. But you know, it's not like bad, but they're just not gonna sit there and like watch it like they watch like, you know, soccer, you know. Why does Deathloop seem sus to you? It just seems a bit sus right now, just from what I've seen. Just from what I've seen. The reason why American football isn't like Aussie rules, like so like I guess we call that rugby, right? The reason why is because the way that football's played, how there's the head-on collisions. You guys have that in rugby, but it's more of like scrum, like tackle. Somebody's running, you tackle them. Football has it to where you won't be facing somebody and you'll catch something. You catch a ball and somebody can just like kill you. So if you played that style without, like, American football already has a problem with people breaking bones, concussions, long-term side effects. If you played the style of American football without pads, people will legitimately die or have significantly shorter lifespans than they already do. So that's the reason why. Rugby, which I used to play rugby myself, it's not as taxing on the body, believe it or not, as American football, even with the pads on, because of the way that it's played. Because there's blindside hits, chop blocks, chop cutting. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's the way that the American football's played, the rules set up for you to be injured all the time. Ask TH3, his knee is, call him TH no knee. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the way that it's played. And I used to play rugby. I used to play rugby myself. And I never felt like I was in too much danger playing rugby. And I played not at a high level, but I played with, you know, other adults, and to where, yeah, there's danger. Yeah, you get hit and stuff like that. But it's just not the same type of hitting that you do in the NFL. The NFL hitting is just way more brutal than rugby hits. Rugby, you can get hit, you can get clothesline, there's stuff, but NFL, the way that guys get hit and the way that it's head-on collision, like a car wreck, it's just way more punishing. So you have to wear pads, otherwise guys would die on field. I swear, and I'm not, no cap, guys would die on field if they weren't wearing pads. Guys would die. They would be dead. They'd be dead on field. They would just, it wouldn't work, you know? You know, so says Aussie rules and rugby is two completely different sports. Okay, I thought you were talking about rugby. Okay, Aussie rules. Okay, so let me see. Rugby is different to Aussie rules football. Also, there's rugby union and rugby league. Okay, I need to see Aussie rules, and then I need to see the difference because I thought they were the same. They're two completely different things. Okay, my bad. I say in sports go, rugby is a beastly game for gentlemen, soccer is a gentleman's game for beasts, and football is a beastly game for beasts. Yeah. Let me see the difference between them. So let me look at Aussie rules football. My bad, guys. Let me take a look. This just seems like you're setting yourself up to die. It says this is rugby. It says this is you said this is rugby? This is Australian rules football. It says Australian rules football. It says it right here. This is Australian rules football. It says it right here. This looks like rugby. It looks like somebody was like, man, I like football, but I also like soccer. See what I'm saying? Like, there are some head-on collisions that you see, like, that you can see. But, like, see how they're kind of like, see how the type of tackling it is? You're usually facing the opponent. The only time that there's a problem is, like, when they kick it, like, and you're trying to jump up and try to grab the ball, right? It's like, the way that football's played, the way that you line up, like, in, like, American football, look at how much more danger, look at how much more danger you'll be in. You know, like, let's look at, like, NFL. Like, plays or big NFL hits. See, like, when you're in the NFL, man, like, you have, like, crazy, like, guys running full speed, head-on collisions, and just blindsiding you. Where you don't see, and you're just gonna get hit. You see what I'm saying? Because of the opposing directions. Like, you're just gonna get laid out. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just, the way that it's played is just so different because of the opposing ways, you know? Like, see what I'm talking about? Like, where you just, like, you're trying to catch a ball, and this happens all the time. It's, like, constantly happening. Every single play, there's some type of way where somebody's gonna try to come take your head off. Somebody's gonna try to, like, the rugby and Australian rules football, how it's played, it's like, you know, sometimes you have guys facing each other. Yeah, you have the kicks where guys are going up to try to catch a ball or knock something down, but the difference is that they're both going for the ball, right? In the NFL, it's like, oh, I'm gonna try to hit you as hard as possible. I'm not going for the ball. I'm going to hit you, and I'm going to lay you out before you even touch the ball. Whereas it seemed like Australian rules football, it's like they're both going up and they smack into each other. Now, that does happen in football, American football too, but this repeated, and like I said, this can happen every play. Guys are opposing each other, passes, chop blocking, you know what I'm saying? Defensive line where the linemen are constantly engaged in physical, you know what I'm saying? Physical, like, hitting every single play, you know? So that's the difference why they have to wear pads. If these guys weren't wearing pads, it's a wrap. This game would be illegal. You can't play NFL without wearing pads. Guys would die on field. Imagine getting hit like we saw some of these hits. And like I said, this happens multiple times per game where guys are going to be getting laid out like that. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, up to 20, 30 times per game. People just be getting stuck. Just bam. You know? And like I said, every single play. You know? So yeah. But I'm going to get copyright claimed, guys. So I think we're going to stop with this right now, though. I'm not saying that it isn't brutal with the AFL. Is it called AFL? AFL. I'm not saying that it isn't brutal or it's not like hardcore. They don't get hit, but you know, to say like, oh, no pads, you know, like they have to wear pads. Guys would die out there on the field. Another Wolf with the 5 says you got to check out the best of the decade 2010 to 2019 spectacular marks at AFL. Okay, I'll definitely do that for sure. I'll definitely check it out. So y'all definitely check it out. I've played no pads football, and like I said, if the pads really helped you, and the pads were like a big, oh my gosh, okay, there wouldn't be so many injuries. NFL, you're always injured. I don't think there's ever anything that's being called like healthy. When I played football, I'm always hurt. Something always hurts 24% of the time, or not 100% of the time. You're always hurt, you know? When I played rugby, I'll be honest, and I know Australian rules football is different, but I don't think I think I can play what they're playing and probably not be too much because, like I said, the head-on hits, because I played linebacker too. I played linebacker and strong safety, where I'm just constantly running into, you know, like linemen pulling, you know, big old fat ass linemen, 300-pound guys, like all these rugby dudes. Yo, they're all in shape. They're all cut. I mean, don't get me wrong. They can probably they're hitting people out there, but like, there's a difference between getting hit by somebody 6'6" or 6'4", 350 pounds, and somebody 6'1", 6'2", 220 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, when somebody's big and fat and they run fast and they hit you, that just is different than somebody thin. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just there's a difference between like the mass of what you're being hit with. I don't know if y'all ever been hit by somebody that's like 5 or 6'3", 300 pounds, but has anybody ever had a 300-pound man like hit you, take you, and then drive you into the turf? That's just like no fun, you know? That's just not fun, you know? It just sucks. It's not a fun thing. It's not a fun thing. I'm noticing in rugby, speed is a huge priority compared to where you're in the NFL. You have 6 foot, 250-pound dudes. Got all these big, crazy dudes, fat, built up like dump trucks. I think speed is based off of position. So in the NFL, speed is very important, but it's based off your position, right? So if you're a receiver, obviously speed is something that you need, or you're a defensive back, but speed isn't important in every position. So it's just depending on like where it is. Like if you're a running back, obviously you need to have a little bit of speed. If you're like a linebacker, yeah, you need to have a little bit of speed. You need to be able to chase people down. Safety, free safety, yeah. But linemen, not so much. Speed isn't quite as important. It always helps, but not quite as important, you know. But yeah, with these guys, they're running. I mean, that field is huge. They're kicking the ball. You got to be able to run and get underneath it. You don't need linemen in Australian rules football. You don't need linemen in rugby. You don't need guys. It makes no sense for guys to be that big, because you're just gonna get fat. You're just fat, and you're gonna run out of energy. You're not gonna be able to run and keep up cardio-wise for what you need to do. It's the same reason as like soccer, right? Like you don't need to have big old fat guys, because you need to be able to have your cardio needs to be way better. You know, linemen, you're not gonna be running like that all game. You know, your cardio needs to be okay, but you're gonna be hitting people, like you're gonna be blocking people most of the time. So, I played right end. Defensive end, you mean? They value my speed and size. Well, defensive end, you need to be able to cover backside of the backfield. You need to be able to get around the edge and use your speed rush. So yeah, defensive end, obviously you want to be fast at that position. Having speed is good at that position. So, bro, as somebody who's 6'2", 220 playing a lot, I have some memories against the big boys. Yeah, man. Let's see. There is a small AFL league in America. There is. There's also a rugby league too, I think, if I'm not correct, all right? Yeah, you have to wear pads. You have to wear pads, otherwise people would die. Some of those 350 dudes can run fast too. Some of them can, yeah, some of them can. some of those big boys can run. I know the feeling when I was growing up playing football. One of my teachers thought I was being abused at home because of all the bruises. Bro, D-tackle and center play is literally the fisticuffs. Yeah, it is, man. It is. I used to play. At one point, I was playing defensive end in my life, so I know how it is. But I was a speed rush defensive end. I wasn't obviously I wasn't gonna get into train. I wasn't a defensive tackle or anything. I was a speed rush, get outside, you know. But I stopped playing defensive end a long time ago. I was running back in safety, or like rover, call it like strong safety. Wrestling for 6 years, like getting hit out of nowhere. Wrestling, I don't like the cauliflower ear y'all be getting with wrestling. That stuff looks disgusting. That stuff looks disgusting. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get into random Q&A, guys. So if you have questions, feel free to tag me at PlayerEssence. Just PlayerEssence at PlayerEssence, just PlayerEssence by itself. Just tag me. Be more than happy to answer all of you guys' lovely questions. Gaming, more like it. I think I'm good with sports for right now. I think I'm good with sports, but thank you I think that was a good conversation. Thank you for the conversation about it, and thank you for letting me know about Australian rules, and not. So, so yeah. Let me see if there's anything else on here that I can cover. Nope, I think we're good. All right, bro, I tried out the wrestling team. I put on the wrestling singlets and I had to quit. That's funny. I think we're not talking about like pro wrestling. We're talking about like, you know, Olympic style wrestling. What's your favorite job in Bravely Default 2 so far? I won't talk about a job class that's too far in, but I mean the monk class is always pretty good. Have you ever been to Disney World or Universal Studios? Yeah, I have. It's pretty cool. What game are you looking forward to next coming from Bethesda? To be honest, I don't think I'm the biggest Bethesda fan anymore. But you know, anything like a new Elder Scrolls would obviously but we don't know when that's coming, so Elder Scrolls would be great. But I mean, I'm checking out the Starfield game, so I'm not a big Bethesda fan anymore. I mean, I was at one point. I used to be, you know, obviously Fallout and, you know, all that, but I didn't like Fallout 4 as much. And Skyrim's great, but it's been a while, right? So it's just I'm not huge on Bethesda, but I do like their games though. Apex is now live on the Switch. Let's download that. Let's see. We might be able to check that out today. Although, no, I'm supposed to do like a stream with Nintendo, like a care package stream. So let's see if it's actually live. Nintendo wanted me to do something, stream it, and show off my care package that I got. I don't think I got the care package yet. So, what is cauliflower ear? Like when their ear is like when you wrestle, and sometimes like when you always like repeatedly like landing on your ear, and your ears get all swollen, kind of like fat in between. You'll see it with like MMA fighters. They have like cauliflower ear, or like wrestlers. They have like cauliflower ear. Just Google search it too. You'll see what I'm talking about. We might play it today. Let me see if I got my care package from Nintendo. Then we'll see if we can play today. Let me see. Apex is probably not live everywhere. Recent releases. On here. I mean, some might get it, but probably not. Kickboxers? No. You ever played Beautiful Joe? Yes, I have. It's good. Bro, does PSN and Switch support crossplay? Yeah, there's crossplay, but not cross progression. I think there's crossplay. I'm not big on Apex, guys. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I am, but I'll check it out. Okay, yeah. So Apex Legends. Why is it all this free download character dialogues? What is all this? Just include it in the regular one. Russian, Spanish, Japanese, Korean. Oh, that's because the file size would be a lot bigger, so they just made it separate. Okay. Yeah, Apex Legends. It's a free download here, so yeah, it's live, so let me go ahead and download it, but I think I have to probably delete something on my Switch. What happened? What? Okay, it disappeared. If there's crossplay, I'll play on my PC. I don't know if I'm playing on Switch. That's corny. If you guys are using, just play it on Switch. What's the point? I don't want to be honest, man, I'm not trying to crossplay with people on PS4 and Xbox One, and because you guys got like a frame rate advantage and all that. And, like some people use a mouse and keyboard and all that. Like I had to deal with that in what's it called? In Fortnite, man. Okay, it says it's downloaded. I think there's an issue because it says that it's downloading and then it doesn't show up on my screen. So whatever. Yeah, don't be corny. Just download the Switch, you bums. I mean, no. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like I don't want to play. I don't want to play. I mean, I can already play on PC or on whatever with you guys. Like, I'm not trying to sit there and figure out crossplay and all that like day one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I already got most of you guys as a friend on Switch, so just do it on there. Yeah, obviously it's 30 frames. The resolution's not as good. Frame rate's not as good. But you don't see me hyping up Apex Legends on Switch, so if you guys want to play, like, I ain't trying to figure out crossplay and all that today. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to do all that. Like, I'm just trying to get it to where we can just play if we can right there. You know? 10, whatever, then play it in 10 frames for a second. I don't care. No cross progression. I try it, but there's no reason to go mobile when you can't go mobile. Okay. I don't care as much about crossplay for free-to-play games. I mean, I think, like I said, the problem for me is just like, you know, people that are playing in like double the frame rate and stuff like that. Like, I'm not, you know, I'm not trying to do all that. So yeah, man. You excited for your B-Day? I know it's coming up in April. Any plans? No plans yet. No plans yet. Have to get back to somebody here. All right. Let's see. You excited for your? Oh, I already read that. Facts. Last thing I want to do is get 720p no scope by some loser running $2,000 PC for his weird Apex Legend Facebook montage for his 3 friends and his mother to see. Yeah. 47 again. I never turned 47. Last year I turned 46. This year I'm turning 47. Yeah, it's not downloading. You go to download it and then it doesn't download. Yeah, I noticed that too. Did that happen to you? Yeah, you go to down. Oh, okay, and it shows up later. Put your Switch like in sleep mode or whatever. Like, you gotta wait a little bit, and then it'll show up. The Icarus says, "Why do Xenoblade fans disrespect Xenoblade Chronicles X?" They don't. Just some people don't like it, and some people do. But Xenoblade fans don't really disrespect it. A lot of people actually really want it to come over. Look at my videos about Xenoblade Chronicles X. And look at how many people want it to come over to the Switch. All right, so let's see here. I need to make some space. Thank you for the $5 though, Icarus. I appreciate that. Yours is downloading, but there's no game. Yeah, it's a bit buggy. Maybe that's the reason why they were taking some time before they wanted to put it out there, guys. It's a bit buggy. I feel like getting rid of Fortnite. That's what I feel like doing. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna drop Fortnite, bro. I'm good on all that. Alright, so I don't know if we'll be able to play it today though. I don't know how many hours it's gonna take to download because it's actually a fairly big download. So it's saying it's gonna take a couple hours. So, and I'm streaming, so bandwidth isn't quite all the way there. So yeah, it's a big download. We don't need to use the Nintendo Switch Online app. Just use Discord. What's your best E3 story? I don't know. I don't have one. A lot of people want a port of X and X2. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know why. Just because some people don't like Xenoblade Chronicles, that doesn't mean all Xenoblade fans don't like it. A lot of people want it. I'll let OJ rest, guys. That's what he wants. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm good. I've got 9 wins in Apex, so I'm decent. 9 wins in Apex? So, wait, there is no solo in Apex, right? It's always 3 on 3, right? It's always 3 on 3. I was like, when you had Nakat on the stream, hope to see more guests on the show. Yeah, we're gonna get more guests on the show when I can, you know, for sure. I'm not playing anytime soon. It says 50 minutes. I'm gonna chill on Xenoblade 2. Yeah, it's gonna take a while. So you guys can ask me more questions for the stream. If you have gaming questions and stuff. We got a Switch Pro video tomorrow, so hopefully you guys watch that crap. I think it's a good video though. So it's a good video. It goes over some misconceptions about what's going on, you know, with the system and all that. Yeah, Xenoblade X is really good, so it'd be weird not to have one on the Switch. At least give it a try. There hasn't been an objectively bad Xenoblade game as of yet, so it's just a bit different. Yeah, to be honest, there hasn't really been a bad Xenoblade game. Xenoblade, and even if you want to just go Xeno game, just in general Xeno, I don't think there's been any bad Xeno games. Going all the way back to Xenogears, Xenosaga 1 through 3, and Xenoblade. I don't think there's been anything bad. You know, Xenoblade, you know, you can arguably say like the worst game in the franchise is some say 2, you know, some say X, but really they're all really good. It just depends on what you like, you know. So none of them are actually bad though, bad games. Yes, the Iggy, Xenoblade and Xenosaga are made by the same development studio, Monolith Soft. So yeah. How many new versions are we getting? New versions of what? Hey OJ, I'm sorry I missed a lot of the stream. Probably gonna skip back. Hey, no problem, Joe. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. You guys are awesome. That chip was fraudulent. Oh, because he said it's gonna be easy to win on the Switch version. Free dubs incoming. Not if you're playing against freaking PlayStation and Xbox dudes in 1000 PS5, 1000 frames per second, bro. Yeah, a lot of people would want Mellow Wolf's Xenoblade Chronicles X on the go. Hell yeah, absolutely. A lot of people would love to have Xenoblade Chronicles X. I mean, you can play it somewhat portable, right, on the Wii U gamepad. But having that big old huge game, like anywhere that you want, that'd actually be dope. That'd actually be legit dope because there's so many side quests and stuff. What level are you in Bravely Default 2? I think I'm like in level 20s right now. I'm kind of taking my time a little bit. Bought your device. OJ bought a digital copy of Xeno 2 and Torna, keeping both physical sealed. Hey, there you go, Pico. Trust me, it'll be worth more. It'll be worth a lot later. So I think that's the good idea. That's the good one here. How's the audio, guys? Is it too loud? Yeah, we should definitely see if we can get that. If we can play Apex. We'll probably have to play it tomorrow. You know, because I haven't got my care package yet. So yeah. Yeah, some don't like Xenoblade Chronicles X merely because of the art style and music. Yeah, some didn't like that about it, but I mean, I don't care what people don't like it. They don't like it. That doesn't mean it's not a good game. Was it awkward streaming at first? Did it take you a while for you to come natural on camera? Yeah, it took a while. It took a hot minute. It was really weird. At first, doing if you go back and watch my first videos, Charity, I sounded very robotic and sounded very awkward, you know, because even though I'm a communications major, it's not the same like streaming to the internet because I was like the beta tester for like all this crap. Like when we first started getting stuff like Hangouts and, you know, Google Hangouts, I was the beta tester for all this stuff. Like now that everything's perfected to where it's like higher quality. You have Discord, you have like all the tools that we have now is like crazy. But when this thing was first, like 2011, 2012, when I was first starting out, this stuff was not tested, okay? It was not tested. I was definitely the beta tester for all this stuff. And it was awkward. The audio sounds horrible. Even when I have a good mic, like this is just, oh man, it was horrible. It was horrible. So yeah, but it's much better now. Like now we have like Streamlabs OBS. Now we have like, you know, affordable mics that we can buy, mics that aren't like super expensive, that have high quality. You know, now we just have all like, you know, we have stuff like where we can build our own like music players, and we can make all these graphics. Like I don't have to be like, you know, like I don't have to make everything individually. Like I can purchase like stream layouts and stuff like that. Like, you know, like I can do, you know, just all sorts of stuff. But back then we didn't have all that. So port their old games over to Switch eventually, maybe one of these days. Saw old video for channel 2015. You kind of quiet. Yeah. You have to learn how to speak a little bit louder, you know. Cause that's like my normal voice. Like normally I'm just kind of like quiet and just not talking too loudly. Or I'm just, there's no emotion or passion in the voice. But when you stream, you got to show a little bit more. You got to have a little bit more emotion, and people take that the wrong way. Sometimes on my streams, they take it as if I'm mad, but it's not that. It's that I don't want to go back to what I was before. And sometimes, like, if I get tired of what people are saying here in the chat, sometimes I'll be like, okay, I'll just be like, all right, okay. And that's boring. Then, okay, nobody wants to watch that, right? So it's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't sometimes, you know? If you had a persona, what would it be? If I had a persona, I don't know, bro. I never really thought about that. Some type of like dragon or something like that, maybe. That was my first donation in a while. I'm still Super Okage though. Oh yeah, thank Mellow Wolf. You're good, man. Even if you didn't donate anymore, you're still a member here. And once again, yeah, you're still Super Okage. And even if you didn't, even if you weren't Super Okage, and even if you didn't donate at all anymore, you've already donated so much, man. So you don't ever have to worry about that, man. But thank you for the support, bro. I appreciate it. I really do. I feel like you turn off the camera and go Bruce Lee on that game shelf. What does that mean? Go Bruce Lee on a game shelf? What does going Bruce Lee on a game shelf mean? Persona would be a turd emoji. You know? You have to guess you think highly of yourself. Oh man. Or you don't think so highly of yourself, more like it. Any other questions, guys? Keep them coming if you want. Never see it coming. We're at 3 o'clock, 3:30. So I mean, I can definitely stream till about 4 o'clock, and then I've got to edit I got to edit that stupid Switch video tomorrow. For tomorrow, get some people excited about my channel again. So and plus, people have been asking me like crazy about that. You know. So. So never mind. Like, will I like karate chop it or something like that? Shaolin monk. LG bro, you rejuvenate my childhood love for JRPGs. Again, these last couple of years. Hey man, dude, I'm telling you, Bravely Default. There's something just nostalgic about playing Bravely Default. I just feel like, yo, man, like this is it. This is what I want to play right now, you know? Like graphics and all that stuff are great, man, but like this is dope. Just kind of going back to playing old school, not having to sign into any type of thing or no Xbox Live, PSN sign in, nothing PS Plus, Nintendo Switch Online, like none. Just give me a game, let me play, let me just enjoy the game, you know? Like it doesn't have to be perfect, you know? Is there a reason why Friday's stream isn't available for playback? What? I don't know what you're talking about, Dave. This OJ, he was trying to make a joke, but I didn't understand what the joke was. How am I supposed to react to the joke if it? What is going Bruce Lee on something like karate, like kick, karate chop it, fight it? Like what? Do you, I don't get it. So I just wanted him to understand. Like, tell me what the joke is. That's the only Xenoblade game that we're missing. Is Xenoblade Chronicles X. Updated UI? No, that shouldn't be available on like the Switch Pro. They wouldn't do an updated UI, no. That's a software thing that can be done on the regular Switch. You don't need a Switch Pro to do folders. Of the editing style, you have your videos. Keep up the hard work. Hey, thank you so much, Shirar. When I click on the video, my notification box pops up private. Not really sure, man. I don't know. Let me see if I can get that fixed. See if I can get that fixed for you, bro. Oh man. Let's see here. Oh, well, didn't get the joke either, but to be honest, I guess you meant that you go straight to playing games. That's definitely not what I do. That's definitely not what I do. After I'm done streaming, you know what I do? You guys want to know exactly what I'm old. You know what I do? I'm like, man, I'm hungry. And I get up gingerly. And I make sure I don't stub my toe on the corners, because sometimes I kind of like walk wildly and I stub my toe. Because one night I stubbed my toe because I'm walking out of this damn room. Those are the things that I'm worried about, is not stubbing my toe. Okay, I get up gingerly, walk to the freaking kitchen. I'm like, I'm hungry. And I get rice, some brown rice. I put a cup of brown rice into a rice cooker. I take a cup or a cup and a half of carne asada, put it into the rice cooker. I take 2 cups of vegetables, put it into the rice cooker. Fill it up with some water, fill it up with some Frank's Red seasoning, and I sit there and I wait for it to be done, or I edit a video after I'm done. So I'll wait, because it takes about 40 minutes for everything to cook properly, and I edit a video in the meantime. After I'm done with that, I sit down and I watch streams. So I'll watch whoever's streaming, whether Click streaming or somebody else, while I eat my food. After I'm done eating my food, I usually call my wife if she's up. If she's not, then I just maybe I'll play a little bit of Bravely Default 2 for about an hour and a half, and then I'll go to sleep. That is my typical day, and then I'll go to sleep. There is no going ham on all the video games behind me. These stay exactly where they are. I usually have digital copies in my living room, because I have a Switch in my living room as well, because I play it on my TV out there, and I'll just use the digital copy of the games. I don't use the physical copies, so I'll just use the digital copy. Hey, what's up, Dominic? Do I turn on the news? No, I don't have cable TV. Any news that I get it through my phone. Like, it's customized through my phone. Like, you know, like if you have like Android, like if you swipe over, like all the news will be like right here, and like you can just get politics, or you can get sports. It's all there when I swipe over. So somebody's telling me something on Twitter. So typical morning, wake up around maybe like 7 or 8 o'clock. Take my vitamins and minerals. Sometimes I have like a really light breakfast, like a piece of bread. I'll call my wife. Then I will go running. Then I'll go run. And then after I'm done running for about an hour, I'll exercise for like an hour and a half. And then I'll get ready for the stream. And then I stream, and then my evening. Pretty boring morning too. Nothing too crazy there as well. Rice cooker? Rice cooker is way better because it's timed. It cooks everything to perfection. Veggie pizza. I make my own homemade pizzas. I get Joseph's pita bread. It's 60 calories per round pita bread. And I put Hunt's tomato sauce on there. I put a little bit of Frank's seasoning in the tomato sauce. I get turkey pepperoni. I get bell peppers, and I get some steak. I put it on a olive oil pan. Bake it at 400 degrees for like 10 minutes. Comes out nice and golden brown and pizza-y. Take a pizza cutter, put it into some different ones, let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then I eat. Content creators that like to watch. Everybody that I mess with on the Spawncast, those are who like to watch. Also, Smash Bros. Content creators. How many of those hours of sleep do you get? I usually get anywhere between 6 to 8 hours of sleep. My anxiety might wake me up before that though. So like if I get 6 hours, it's because of anxiety. Or like I might get like 5 hours. It's only because of anxiety, not because I'm not tired. So I'm hungry. Let me shake your hand. Let me shake your hand. Hey you. Hey you. I want to shake your hand. Stop being a chef because it's so demanding. Yeah, being a chef is tough, man. It's not easy. Yeah, I'm hungry. That's it's not like, oh yeah, time to. People think, here's what people think. People think that content creators sit there and play games all day, but some do, but a lot of us don't. You know why? Because to edit one video, it takes like freaking 3-4 hours to edit one video. Even a freaking 10-15 minute video can take up to 3 hours to edit. That's a good chunk of your day. You know, and if I'm streaming for like another 3 hours, that's 6 hours right there between work right there. That's 6 hours right there of work. And that doesn't include all the other things. Let's talk about tags. Let's talk about brainstorming for the video. Let's talk about, you know, subtitles. Let's talk about scheduled posts. Let's talk about all the other stuff. That's like another 2 or 3 hours on top of that. You know, let's talk about maintenance. Let's talk about making sure all your monetization's checked. Let's talk about emails, brand deals. Let's talk about collaborations with other content creators, answering DMs. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. All that, that's like, for me, it's like 10, 11 hours a day. Anywhere between 9 at the minimum and at the tops, like 12 to 13 hours a day. So I already have it downloading, Birdman, we know. That sounds delicious. J2, are you a little bit behind in the stream? You're talking about like what I made in terms of the food that I was talking about, or you mean the pizza? Which one? What's the deal with the shortage of Nintendo Switch docks? Nintendo doesn't produce them a lot because every single Switch comes with the dock, so they're not going to take a lot of money or time to produce extra docks. So usually an 8-hour day then, keep the grind going. More than 8 hours. Typical day for me is like, if I work sometimes I work in the morning too. Like I gotta work before I go running. So sometimes, but a typical day, let's just say that I don't. A typical day is like 11:30 to like 10:30 for me. That's like a typical day. Like 11:30, that's when I'm really starting getting like, I'm prepping the stream and all that, or I might record a video. So I would probably say like 11:30 to about like 10 or so, 9 or 10. That's a typical day. Now I do take breaks in between. You know, I do take, you know, an hour lunch. I do take some like 15-minute breaks here and there, just like to get up, stretch, stuff like that. But yeah, typical day. But it's not like I'm sitting here the whole time. But the longest that I usually sit here in this chair and edit is my or that I'm actually sitting here in my chair is like streaming and editing, you know. And then when we play Smash. So it took 3 hours to do the Sakuna video, so I could imagine those videos you do, OJ. Yeah, 3 hours for the Sakuna video. You know, reviews take even longer. That's kind of the reason why I don't do reviews, because like reviews take like 6-7 hours sometimes, depending on how in-depth the review. Like the Last of Us Part 2 review, that took me way too long to make, and that's what made me pick. Like that's why I got done. I'm like, dude, I'm done. Like I did this Last of Us Part 2 review and nobody watched it. I did a Final Fantasy 7 remake review, nobody watched it. I did Luigi's Mansion review, nobody watched it. You know, I'm not doing this anymore. Like I think I'm good. So that's why I didn't do like Paper Mario review. That's why I didn't do like I'll just do like discussions on games. I'm not gonna do a review. I'm not gonna review games anymore. I'm just gonna do discussions unless I really want to review something. Then I'll review it. So yeah. I can see you in 30 to 40 years from now, OJ, telling your kids, back in my day, you didn't play games digital/streaming. I used to buy games in boxes and Blu-ray discs. I had it good back then. Play X's theme for Mega Man X Command Mission, underrated game. That's what I am gonna be saying that like to my nephew. and all that. I'll be like, back in my day, I do back in my day now to you guys not at this point. In 30 years, I'm gonna be old, man. I'll be old as hell in 34 years. Oh man, dude. Hopefully I'm still alive. Let's pray on that. Let's see here. Thank you for the dollar, Shinra. I do appreciate that, man. X's theme. X's theme for Mega Man. Mega Man. Nobody watched that serial review either. Mega Man Command Mission. I'm done with serial reviews. Nobody watched that. Nobody watched that either. Alright, here we go. Oh man, this seems loud. How's the audio on this one here, guys? Let me see that serial. How much did that serial review do? Let me check. Oh, hold up. Let me check to see like what that cereal review. Let me just check. Sour Patch. This was a mistake. I was wearing a Splatoon squid hat. Let me check. How long ago was this? I was asking for 50,000 subs. Oh, this was 2019. Yeah, it didn't even get 3K views. You guys liked it though. You guys like hella liked it. It's that cereal. That cereal's disgusting, dude. I did a cereal review, yeah. Do another cereal review? Nah. I intend to reach the point where I can do 35 miles long distance, no problem. Good for you, Blaze. Yeah, I was a minute behind. No, it's all good. It's all good, man. Hey, what's up, Horace? I noticed your discussion and news videos do a lot better than your reviews, which is ironic since dudes damn near ask for an entire review for some of these questions to be asked. Yeah, man, discussions do way better, just like discussions and stuff, because it's more natural than reviews. Like, people like to go to the professionals for reviews, like IGN and Game Trailers or Easy Allies and GameSpot, or people just like to read reviews, or they just like to go Metacritic, you know, just like read. You know, like, or just like look at it from there. Like, I don't think people are looking to me like, oh, what is OJ, like, what's OJ's review of, you know, this game? Or like, they'll go to like Donkey or something like that. People that actually have like their foothold in reviews. Like, I started doing like, you know, like discussions and live streams. Like, that's kind of like my thing. So, you know, so people kind of go for me for that, you know. I do review in the top 10 bald characters. PlayerEssence, I'd watch it. The top 10 bald characters? Yeah, that might be something that I can do. I don't know. What is this fetish going on with bald stuff though? Like, Dre, like you've been on a bald tear lately. Yo, Gutshot, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. So, I mean, what's going on? Heck, it just popped up. Let's see, Andre, you going? Andre's definitely not going bald. Andre's definitely not going bald. If he likes baldness, hell, love MVG. Oh, absolutely, MVG's the homie. Yo, Young ZP says, we need PlayerEssence time skip arc where you go back to the 49ers hat. OJ, JK, what up, man? Hope all's well. Yeah, everything's doing good, man. No 49ers hat, man. No 49ers hat. No 49ers hat anymore. I think it's still I still have the 49ers hat, but no more. Some guys look good bald. Tupac, Michael Jordan. Yeah, some guys definitely look better bald because they have like a super chromium dome head, you know, where it's like perfectly round or it's like rounded up or like it fits their facial features. But I will say this, while Jordan was bald and he looks good bald, I think gold chain, low cut hair Michael Jordan actually is pretty dope too. Like 84, you know, Jordan 84 before he went like super bald. I thought that was pretty good too. It's like Jordan went bald. It seemed like Jordan had hair one day and then he went bald the next day. There was like no in between. There was like no, like, you know how like LeBron, it's like he's balding, you know, it's like you can kind of see it and like he's trying to make sure, like trying to line everything up, you know? It's like Jordan he had hair one day and then the next day he went to work. He didn't shave it either. It wasn't like, oh, did you shave your head? It was just, it literally fell out overnight. And then he went and was like dunking on people, like dunking on the Celtics or whatever with bald. One game he had hair. The next game he was bald. I'm almost positive that's what happened. No, I don't think there was any patch. I think he was sleeping, and like the music started playing, like you guys know, like the Jordan music. Y'all like, hold on. Y'all remember this music right here? Hold up. It was like this music. University of North Carolina. Woo! Michael Jordan. And he just goes. No, man, it was done. It was done. It was Jordan. It was game 6 Jordan chewing the gum, just hitting. You can't, just fading away, just like somebody tries to block him, he just fades all the way. Like he starts here, then he fades all the way like 15 feet that way. He starts the free throw line, shoots a fade away, and then fades all the way back to half court, just like this, like parallel, like that. He just fades all the way. He just fades all. He just fades. Jordan with the fade away. He's just fading backwards. It's like you can't block him, dude. Like what the like. It was like, how do you block his shot, man? He just keeps fading backwards. You know, he's just fading backwards, man. You can't stop him. Oh man, dude, that must have sucked. That must have sucked trying to guard this man, cause like, if he just keeps fading and like he has so much hang time, like when he would jump, he would just be like floating in the air like a damn genie, and everyone's like, "Are you gonna come down anytime soon?" He's like, "Nope, swish, baby. Can't guard me." You ever hear Jordan talk smack to people, like the Jordan documentary? I mean, I saw it on the court, but you can't hear it all the time, right? Because they mute the players. Oh my god, dude, crazy. Ball Jordan better than hair? Yeah, Ball Jordan is factually better than Hair Jordan, because Hair Jordan never won a championship. Hair Jordan only won one championship, and that was in the University of North Carolina. You know, he won. He hit the game-winning shot. He did win a national championship. That is the only Jordan that won a championship, and that was in college. But in the NBA, when he was bald, he won multiple titles. He won 6 titles when he was bald. So yeah, that's definitely true. Bald Jordan is definitely greater than hair Jordan. That's facts. You know. Says, hey, yo, Gary Payton kept them locked up. Gary Payton did not lock up Jordan. You crazy. Gary Payton did not lock up Jordan. You crazy on that. When Gary Payton said he was going to lock Jordan up, then proceeded to get smoked in 6 games. Let's see what let's see what Jordan averaged for that 96 finals against the Supersonics. Jordan average against Jordan finals stats against that was 96, right? Against the Supersonics. Chicago won 4 games to 2. Let's take a look. Jordan final stats 1996. Jordan. So okay, so game 1. Jordan averaged 27 points per game in that finals. How did he get locked up? He averaged 27. Is that what you call getting locked up? 27 points per game, and he was the MVP of that finals. That's what you call getting locked up? 27 points per game? And MVP? His averages were 27, 5, 4, and 2. That's not called, no. Either he got locked up or he didn't. Jordan averaged 27 points per game in that finals. There's no locked up. That's not being locked up though. He passed the ball more too. His assists were pretty good throughout this series, so he was passing the ball in that series too. So that's not being called locked up. I'm sorry. 27 points per game is not locked up. That is not locked up. And they beat them 4-2. They beat them 4-2. If they actually locked up Jordan, because nobody averaged more than 15 points per game in that series. On the Bulls, Scottie Pippen averaged 15.7. Kukoc averaged 13. Luke Longley averaged 11.7. Dennis Rodman averaged 7 points per game. Ron Harper at 6. So if they were locking him up, like you said, why did they still lose 4 games to 2? It's not like Pippen or Kukoc or Longley were averaging 20 points per game. So who were they locking up? It wasn't Jordan. He averaged 27 points per game. If we're looking out on the other side, Gary Payton averaged 18 points per game. Sean Kemp averaged 23 points per game. The fact that Sean Kemp didn't average more than 23 points per game, maybe he got locked up. Sean Kemp should have dominated the Bulls. At power forward, I know they had Rodman probably guarding him, but he should have definitely done better than 23 points per game. And Detlef Scrimp should have definitely done better too. How is Detlef Scrimp at 7 foot tall and with the 3-pointer? How does he not have more than 16 points per game? Who's guarding Detlef Scrimp on the freaking Bulls? Ron Harper? So they're the ones who got locked up. Sam Perkins, 7 foot tall. He should have had. Sam Perkins only had 4 points per game. Let me see. No, 3.5 points per. Oh, hold up. No, my bad. Sam Perkins only had 11 points per game. How you 7 foot tall can shoot and only have 11 points per game when you're guarding Luke Longley or Bill Weddington is on you or John Sally? Those are the guys that got locked. Sam Perkins should have averaged more than that per game. They got locked up. How are you gonna let Luke Longley and Bill Weddington and Tony Kukoc lock you up to where you don't have more than 16, 17 points per game? That's ridiculous. Was Dennis Rodman well liked by the Chicago fans? Oh yeah, people love Dennis Rodman. People love Dennis Rodman. Everybody loved Dennis Rodman. The team sometimes hated him, but everybody loved Dennis Rodman. LGCX55, yeah. LGCX55, Moses. No, I'm sorry. 27 points a game is not clamped down. So that maybe he didn't have to score more. They were getting the brakes beat off of him. They beat them 4 games. Didn't even take 7 games. There was no need for him to score more. He was already doing enough. They couldn't. These guys were getting locked up by Bill Weddington and Luke Longley. Good, bro. D. Iggy. 27 points per game is not being locked down. That's not being locked down. I'm sorry. That's not being locked down. 27 points per game is not being locked up. Sorry. There's no way that you try to put it. You are wrong. Because 27 points per game is not locked up. and you named one game, 23 points, one game. That is not locked up for the whole. There's a series. It's not one game. It's a whole series. That's not locked up. Sorry, 27 points per. You don't average 27 points per game and say, "Oh yeah, I got locked up, man. I locked that guy up." No, you didn't. Dude didn't have to score as much because your other team wasn't making no buckets because Sam Perkins and Detlef Schrempf and Hershey Hawkins and all these guys are averaging less than 15 points per game against Bill Weddington, Luke. You out here letting freaking Tony Kukoc average 13 points. Tony Kukoc should not be averaging 13 points against you guys like that. This is ridiculous. That is not locked down. I mean, that's not great for Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like 6 of 19, that's not a great night. But locked up for the series? No. No. You can't cherry pick one game or 2 games and say he locked them up for the whole series. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, man. Not only that, but like game 3, Jordan had 36 in game 3. Where's all the locked up there? Jordan had 36 points in game 3. They beat the brakes off of him. They beat the brakes off of him in that game. So well, then he should have covered him the whole game then. Then you can't say that he covered him for the whole series if he didn't cover him for the whole series. You arguing like Skip Bayless right now. Let me choose one thing or 2 things, and that one thing or 2 thing negates everything else that person's done. Because I want to make my point, and my point is this. So I'm going to cherry pick one thing that makes my point, and then I'm going to ignore the series. I'm going to ignore that they got beat in 6 games. I'm going to ignore that he didn't cover him the whole game. I'm going to ignore all this, and I'm going to say this one thing right here, you know? So, no, 27 points per game is not locked up the whole series. And on top of that, yeah, maybe you can cover one guy. You can cover Jordan well for this block of time, but can you really keep up with Jordan for a whole series at that pace? If they had Gary Payton on Jordan for all of the games, do you really think that he'd be able to lock him down at that rate? Jordan at that rate for 7 games? You're crazy if you think that. There's a reason why they switched him off, because he couldn't keep up with Jordan for 6 games. You can't keep up with guarding Michael Jordan for 6 games. That's insane. You can't do it. So there's a reason why they switched him off of it, because he was getting cooked a few times, and they had to switch him off because he was too small. Jordan was hitting fadeaways on him. Of course they switched him up. If he was locking him up 24/7, Gary Payton said he was going to lock him up before the series started. Why did they keep Gary Payton on him 24/7 then? If that was the key and he can do that for every single game, Why are they taking Gary Payton off of him? Answer that question. Because he can't guard him for the 6 games, 6, 7 games. That's insane. Nobody can guard Jordan for that long. At that time, nobody could guard Jordan for like that, and continuously hold him to 23 points. You weren't going to do that, but if you want to cherry pick one game, go ahead. But there's no way that you're going to do that over the course of a whole series. It doesn't matter if Gary Payton wasn't calling. It's not about who's calling the plays. If that's what's working, you're going to go with it. Gary Payton can't guard Michael Jordan for 6 games, plain and simple. He couldn't. If he could, they would have left him on it. If he can keep up the energy to guard Michael Jordan for 6 games, he would have done it, but he didn't. So if he's not called, okay, well, if it works so well, why didn't he keep doing it then? So you calling the Seattle Supersonics, the coach is an idiot? You know more than him? So what you're trying to tell me is that you know more than the coach of the Seattle Supersonics, to the point to where they took him off of him, even though it was working, and he was locking him up. He was D'ing him up, like you're saying, even though I watched the series, by the way. I watched the whole series. I watched every single game of it. He didn't do what you're saying. Okay, he didn't do what you're saying, but whatever. I'll entertain it because it's fun. But I actually watched the whole series. Actually, like, live, not Jordan documentary, not ESPN Classic. I actually watched it live, you know? And there was no point where I was like, oh man, Jordan's getting locked up by Gary Payton. Nobody said that. Nobody said Jordan got locked up by Gary Payton for this finals. I'm 46 turning 47. I'm 46 turning 47. But the thing about it is this, nobody said that. And now all of a sudden, decades later, you're trying to sit here and tell me that Jordan got locked up. Who said that? Who said that? Who said Jordan got? I mean, like, Diggy, I see what you're saying, bro. But nobody said that. Nobody on ESPN said that. No commentators said that. Nobody said Jordan got locked up by Gary Payton. You know? Because he didn't. I mean, because he just did it. But it's a fun conversation nonetheless. Gary Payton said he'd lock him up, though. Did you watch that Jordan? Diggy, did you watch that Jordan documentary? Nah, he didn't. Did Gary Payton lock down Michael Jordan in the NBA Finals? Question mark. Exactly. Did he? But did he actually? No, he didn't. Because in order to lock somebody down, you got to lock them down for the entire series. That's what a lockdown is. A lockdown is the entire series. A lockdown isn't one game. A lockdown isn't 2 games. A lockdown is the entire series. If you don't lock somebody down for the entire, if somebody averages 27 points per game, and if you got switched off of them, that's because you couldn't keep up. That's because you couldn't keep that energy level. Because I played basketball. I know basketball. They put me on the guys. Hey, OJ, can you lock that guy up? I'm like, I'm going to try. If I was locking him up, they'd keep me on him. If I wasn't locking him up, I'm out of the game, or I'm getting switched off to somebody else that can give their shot at him. But in order to lock somebody up, you got to lock them up for the whole series, not one night or one play. You know? 27 points per game. If Gary Payton was actually able to lock down Michael Jordan, they would have won the series, but they didn't. So 27 points per game. So y'all remember when honey buns were 50 cents? Yeah, those are disgusting too. Isaiah Thomas gave him a run for his money. That was illegal activity with Isaiah. The bad boy Pistons, the Monstars locked up Michael Jordan for a bit. That was one game though, right? That was one game. The Monstars. The bad boy Pistons, but they were like beating Michael Jordan up. You know, they were like doing all that. You know, so it's always fun talking sports with you guys, though. Yo, shout outs to the new subs, though. Shout outs to James Jones. Shout outs to Amaz. Yo, appreciate you guys. I don't recall Jordan ever getting locked up in any finals. Like, for example, like Steph Curry kind of got locked up, right? Steph Curry kind of got locked up in the finals because this man was not averaging 27 points per game. Steph Curry been to, how many finals has Steph Curry been to? This man he's not been locked up in all of them, but how you been to 4 or 5 finals and not have a single series MVP? Finals MVP. Like, that seems to me very weird that, like, you've been to that many finals and not have any finals MVP. Now, I love Steph Curry. Steph Curry's the homie. He's not the homie. I don't know him. But I'm just saying, like, if I did know him, I think it'd be cool. But, like, it just seems weird to me that he's never won a finals MVP. Let's talk about the real crime. The new Lola Bunny design is whack. I knew that they were going to change it because they're not going to have busty OnlyFans Lola Bunny in a new age Space Jam. I mean, back in the day, Bugs Bunny used to cap people with the gun. Like, y'all ever seen that clip? Bugs Bunny? Like, you can't do the same things that you do, like, back in the day, you can't do the same thing sexualized. You can't do that. You can't make all the same jokes. You can't have all that. There was one time Bugs Bunny was, like, freaking doing an opera or doing, like, a piano solo, like, with the crowd, like, you know, like, with the black jacket. And, like, somebody kept on coughing. Dude pulls out a gun. Bugs Bunny pulls out a gun and caps it. And nobody even screams or anything like that. Like, there's no way in hell you can do that in a cartoon today, right? Same thing goes like with sexual themes. Like, you can't be making all these sexual themes like with furry and like Shinru get really excited about Lola Bunny. Like, guys like Shinru. Guys like Shinru get way too excited in the movie theater. They're like, I gotta take a bathroom break. You know what I'm saying? Right in the middle of the movie, like, you can't be doing it. In today's day of the furry, I mean, the furry was not a thing. At least we didn't know about them as much. But in today's day, the furry is too much. If you made Lola super sexualized, the furries are going to take over the movie theaters and take over the streaming. It's going to crash everything. So, you know, like, yeah. So you can't be doing that, you know? So stop the stream right now. Oh my gosh, man. Oh my gosh, dude. Back in the day, cartoon characters were toting guns and smoking cigars. They can't get away with what's it called? This man, Diggy, you still going on Jordan, bro? I'm done. We're done talking about this, man. I don't care about your stats. 27 points again. Once again, he didn't lock him down for the whole series. 27 points a game isn't being locked down. So, I mean, we can just agree to disagree, dude. And they won 2 games. They got beat in 6. So there you go, man. You think that's bad? You should see the Muppets original commercials when they were blowing heads, not drinking and for not drinking coffee. I know, man. I know, seriously. I know, 3 points less. So much lower. So locked down, man. 27 points a game. Finals MVP. So locked down. 3 points. Oh my goodness. Dude, you're totally right on that one, Diggy. Oh my gosh, never mind. He was locked down so much. He was locked down so much to the point to where they got their asses handed to them 4-2. They literally were not in, and they got blown out a number of times in those games. That's just, and nobody on the Bulls averaged more than 16 points a game. But somehow, some way, nobody on the Bulls averaged more than freaking 16 points per game. And they locked down Jordan, and somehow they still lost 4-2. I don't know how this was possible, but it was a thing. It's there. Oh man. I see what you're saying, man. I see what you're saying. But what you're saying it's not what I watched. So, I mean, like, you can put all the stats that you want to, but the final stat is he didn't guard him the whole game. He didn't lock him down the whole series. And they lost. So, I don't know what else more than that, you know? What else is there to say? Doesn't matter what age I watched him at. Doesn't matter. I've seen that series over and over. So it doesn't matter. I've already seen it over and over and over. So it doesn't matter, man. You're arguing for no reason. There's no reason to argue this point. There really isn't. He averaged 27. He was finals MVP, and they lost 4-2. Nobody else on the team averaged more than 16 points per game. You claim he locked down Jordan. Nobody averaged more than 16. If they locked him down and nobody averaged more than 16, why they get smoked so much? Why they get smoked? Why they get beat 4-2? Why were they never really in the finals then? If you locked down Jordan, what happened? Please let me know. You didn't remember that he didn't cover the whole series? I know that he didn't cover him the whole series because he couldn't cover him the whole series. Diggy? It's not I didn't remember. He couldn't cover him. He could not keep up with him the whole series. Gary Payton was saying that he was going to lock him down before the series started. Do you not remember that? They didn't put him on him the whole series because he couldn't keep up with him the whole series. What are you talking about? Gary Payton was talking ish that he was going to lock Jordan down before the series started. If the coach and if Gary Payton could have locked him down the whole series, they would have put him on there from the beginning. Even if he locked him down for one game, why didn't they just keep locking him down then? Go back and watch it, then come back and actually tell me. Gary Payton didn't lock down anything. And if he could lock him down for the full series, they would have done it. You still won't answer that question. If he can lock him down for the whole series, why didn't they do it? Answer the question. If Gary Payton could I just want you to answer that one question. If Gary Payton was talking before the whole thing started, okay? Gary Payton said he was going to lock down Jordan before the series started. Why didn't they do it? And if he was so effective in that game 3 when he had those 23 points, why couldn't they keep it up? Answer those two questions. Answer those two. Until you answer that, I'm not looking at any other stats. I'm not looking at any other stats. Answer those questions. Why wasn't he on him from the beginning? And once he did lock him down, why didn't they do that all the way to the finals victory when nobody else in the Bulls averaged more than 16? Answer those two. If you can't answer that, I'm done. Can't answer those two. Let's go with the other thing here. Do you think the cell phone remakes of Dragon Quest 4 through 6 will come out to Switch this year? Cell phone remakes? Maybe. I just want to know that. That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. I don't want to read any articles on it. I don't want to do anything. I just want to know. Answer those two. King of Furry says, who's your favorite animal waifu? King of Furry with the $5. I do not have a favorite animal waifu. I do not have one. Thank you for the 5 though. Oreo and Yoshi, thank you for the tier 1. So then, okay, so continue on. D Iggy, why didn't he lock him down for the rest of the series? Why didn't answer the question? Why couldn't he keep it up? Okay, he locked him up for the 3 games. He only averaged 23, which that's primary defender. Okay, whatever. So then why couldn't he just do that for the full series? What happened? Mr. Pete with the 5. That's what I'm saying. Why couldn't he cover him primarily for the, if he was locking him down and he got nowhere on him, why couldn't they do that for the whole series? Jordan did isolation ball. There wasn't a lot of picks and screens. It was isolation. So why didn't they just put him on the isolation and him lock him down? It's a triangle offense. By the way, that wasn't me. I know that wasn't you. Mr. Pete with the 5 says, sup, OJ, the PS5 for my nephew Rob, but his mom said not to bring it over yet because he was misbehaving. Can you play Resident Evil basement theme? Yeah, I can play that for you. I'm still waiting for that answer. Resident Evil. That's exactly TH3. That's exactly what I'm saying. Primary defender. You can't keep that up for the whole series. There's no way he can keep up that type of energy. Primary defender, oh, sometimes we put you on him, sometimes we don't. That's not locking somebody down. That's selectively guarding somebody when you're not tired because you're not going to be able to beat Jordan. You know what I'm saying? That's not locking somebody down. That's just selective. Oh, well, sometimes I'm on you here and there. Sometimes I'm not. When I was on you, I lock you down. Okay, well then, if you're locking somebody down, then do it for the whole series. Like, why go off of them? It's isolation triangle offense. It's not like you're going to get, it's not the Utah Jazz. You know, you're not picking and rolling Jerry Sloan, you know? Like, it's not like that. So, bro, I don't know. The Bulls are the best team of the 90s. They were the best. And obviously the talent, the songs couldn't be matched. But you just... I'm glad that you at least somewhat answered the question. Okay, now we can stop it. You at least you somewhat decided to answer the question. All right, we're good. All right, I got you, Diggy. I got you. Good. I don't think we need to say anything else anymore. Okay, there we go. The boy says, how is Jessica Rabbit? Mr. Pete, hopefully you enjoy the basement theme. That's what you're getting at. All right, it's fine, bro. It's fine. It's all good. It's all good. No, it's not an excuse. It's fine. It's fine. Let's just end it right there, guys. Let's just end it right there. No, it's a good spot to end it. It's a good spot to end it. It's a good spot. It's a good discussion to have, man. I'm a big fan of sports discussion. Like, I love me some classic basketball sports discussion. You know, especially when we got like that, the Skip Bayless type of arguments that come through. You know, I'm not trying to hear this right now. I'm done. At least because he somewhat answered the question. Jessica Rabbit. Wait, let me see if the Apex is up. You know, I can't play Apex today, guys. We got to end the stream right here, man. Reggie Miller was the best defender on MJ because MJ even said Reggie was a pain in the booty. Yeah. So we're going to end the stream right here, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming out to the stream. I do appreciate it. To the Sport OJ, TH3, and Diggy show. Sports show. I definitely have to start a second sports channel and just freaking talk about us. I think I'm going to start the sports channel this upcoming NFL season. This NBA season's done. Once the next NBA season is on track, NBA and NFL, I'm definitely starting up a sports channel. Definitely starting up and like going through like maybe like once a week. We just talk. Ending early. This is not really early. I streamed for about 3 hours. We've been streaming for 3 hours today. So yeah. So we're gonna end it right here. We'll be back with tomorrow. We're definitely gonna play some games though. So yeah. But we're definitely starting a sports channel. So yeah, absolutely. I'm not answering any more sports questions today, guys. But thank you guys for coming out to the stream. I do appreciate it. Seriously, you guys are awesome. Are you guys really gonna go argue in the Discord about Jordan and Locke? You can count me out. I'm gonna go eat, guys. I'm hungry. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming out to the stream. I do appreciate it. No, you didn't hijack anything, Diggy. We have these conversations all the time, man. I know you're kind of new here, but we've had me and TH3 have argued about. What did we argue about? Me and TH3 argued about Karl Malone. TH3 called Karl Malone Karl Anthony Towns with a jump shot. And I was like, and I almost had a heart attack on stream as somebody who freaking feared Karl Malone because he was always a pain in the Bulls' booty back in the day. So TH3 got into it one time because he freaking was trying to diss Karl Malone, you know? At least Cat made theories, bruh. Karl Malone. No, you know, I'm done. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming out to the stream. Check out my most recent video, Switch Pro video tomorrow morning. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, guys. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. I appreciate all of you guys. I really do. I'm not even going to start with this right now. I'm not starting with this. Y'all stupid. Y'all dumb as hell. Both of you. I don't like any of you guys that talk sports. You guys are all dumb. I'm Stephen A. Smith. You know what I'm saying? You guys are all wrong. This is all blasphemous. This is absolutely blasphemous. from everybody here, and you guys don't know what you're talking about, okay? Do not know what you're talking about. This is blasphemous. Anyway, I'm done here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. We'll see you guys for the next one. Bye, everyone.